undisputed champions of APAC-South in the ALGS.
Such a good spot here. Provides any much coverage for Popcorn. Bradley kicks down and out already. Bristol strikes there.
About to go down. 1v1, 1v1.
Oh, what? Well, Shady finds the target.
That's going to be a punishing blow.
Tree is covered. Fly high to Senpai. The wraparound is perfect.
What? No! Look to overextend. So does Kashira.
Does get spotted out. The pings go down.
Oh my God! The 360! What a beast!
Hello and welcome everyone. This is the Split 1 Apex Legends Global Series Pro League, where we'll be covering all the action in APAC-South. My name is Lace and I hope you have your snacks prepared and your faces glued to the screen as things are about to heat up in the region. Now, if that doesn't tickle your fancy, then maybe our casters might. I am joined here with Genome and Dax. Hello, Genome. How are you feeling on this glorious day one of Pro League?
I've got so much energy, Lace. It's like it's been building up in me this entire offseason. I feel like a bear who's just come out of hibernation. I'm about to feast on all of the amazing Apex I'm sure we're going to see here in APAC-South.
Exactly right. Now, Dax, do you think we'll see teams dipping their toes in a little bit, or do you feel it will be a full send 360 no scope up your Razor Scooter war in today's matches?
I do feel like it's been months in the making here, Lace. It's been quite a while since we've seen each other here at Longshot, and you know that these teams are hungry from the off-season. There's going to be incredible action from the get-go. There will be a lot of things declared, especially. I'd love to see what the pecking order is going to be moving forward, because this is a new year for APAC-S.
Exactly right. Exciting stuff. I wonder if they're as fueled on caffeine as we are. Let's hope so. But I know we're rearing to go, so let's have a look at the breakdown for Apex Legends Pro League.
The Pro League is comprised of 2 regular season splits. The Split 1 regular season features 4 regions made up of 30 teams, seeded into 3 groups of 10 teams each. Pro League teams will begin by competing in a triple round robin format, where each group plays a match series against every other group 3 times. After these matches have been completed, the top 20 teams according to the regular season standings will compete in the regional finals. At the conclusion of the regional finals, 40 teams, including teams from all 6 ALGS regions, will have qualified for the Split 1 playoffs.
Yeah, so today we have Group A and B, so 20 teams to battle it out to the top. I know that was a lot of numbers and letters for people watching at home, but I hope that makes sense. Little fun fact, I quit school because I hated maths. But let's have a look at the only exciting numbers in our lives, the prize pool. So we're looking at double the prize money. So that means, you know, us casters take half, right? We're going to take half and then they have the same amount as year 3. No, okay. So APAC-South, that's it. APAC-South has been put on the map. So you're looking at 125,000 spread amongst teams. So you're looking at 20,000 for first, 15,000 for second. Dax, how do you feel about APAC-South being a major region for Apex Legends?
You took the words out of my mouth there, Lace. Major region confirmed. And come on, we had 5 of our 7 reps make it to the grand finals and champions. Woo! It really has been a long time coming. Gino has been one of the founders, really, of the region. He's been waiting for this moment to see a bigger payday for everyone else.
That's it. Gino, never seen you in my life. Are you on stage for ALGS? No? Okay, no, that's fine. Well, you can see our casters are ready and rearing to go. So let's have a talk about scoring. So for everyone at home, this is how the system works. So individual matches have traditional ALGS scoring. So we're looking at 12 points for first, 9 points for second, a point per kill, and so on. Then teams will place in the traditional format, will then be awarded split points. If a team places first in a series, they will be awarded 25 series points, 21 for second, so on and so forth. Genome, you have something juicy to tell us about bonus split points that teams can earn.
Yeah, so we've actually got a new rule coming in for year 4 of the ALGS, and it's a little bit of a spicy one. It's a fun one. what it means is that teams who do exceptionally well can actually can add to their split points after every series. And there's two different ways you can do that. If you win by more than 50 points, you get a bonus point. If you win 3 matches in a single series, you also get a bonus point. And then for every further match you win, up to 6 out of the 6 matches in the series, you also get 1 extra bonus point for those games. And I've got to tell you, this is exceedingly rare. I actually went back through and looked at the stats in all of APAC South history, and this has only happened 4 times. In the entire... So maybe once a split you're going to see this. It's a big moment when it happens. The only team to ever get more than 50 points over second place was actually Zero and Jen Burton when they were playing for Reignite back in the day.
That's just exceptional stuff. And for the sake of us watching, let's hope we can see some teams pick up these bonus split points as our competition is looking a little tantalizing this year. We have teams such as DreamFire, Iron Blood Gaming, Wonton Dumpling. If we want to have a look at the teams list, I actually have been looking at Wonton Dumpling. They've been consistently performing in scrims. They won't be playing us for today because they'll be in Group C, but I reckon this is a team to keep an eye on. Another team to keep your eyes on is Serenity. So Boogie, Jesco, Sharky, they had a cracker of a day in scrims. They were really focusing on rotation, placement, and picking up as many kills along the way. We know placement rewards more points, but if teams can secure ample kills as well, then they're set to be a huge contender. These names are looking exceptional. Genome, I'll start with you. What is your team to watch?
Well, the team that I have actually been thinking about so far is Divine. These guys have really caught my eye as a couple of guys who are, they're stalwarts of the region, right, Lace? We've got 3 different players who have come from 3 different teams. So you've got Pricey, of course, who came from Moist. He missed out on the championship. Then you've got Wei. He got his first... Was his first or second taste of LAN at the championship? He was playing with Tom Young Kung. And then you had Shady, who, of course, has been performing all year with Onyx. So you've got 3 guys who have done pretty damn well, including Pricey, who obviously is one of the top players on the region. And in the past, as you can see, has been on the top team in the region. So Divine, I think, have an incredible amount of potential, and they're definitely one of the teams who I can see making it to the Split 1 playoffs and LAN.
Yeah, and if you've performed on Moist Esports, we all know their victory story, and they left us. APAC-South has such amazing contenders and players in this region. You've seen it from Moist, you've seen it from Dark Zero, and I do hope Pricey can, get everything that they've learned from Moist and playing with Waltzy and stuff and move forward and get that sorted. And Dax, tell us who you are keen to see rise to the top.
Well, why you gotta paint it so tragically there, Lace? Moist leaving us for greener pastures, moving to NA. But with Moist leaving, it does lead to the throne being wide open. And of course, what team did we see perform in Champs last year? Then known as Blackhand, became Primus Commander in the offseason, and right now they are known as Legends Gaming. As you can see from this roster, everything is left unchanged. You still have Strafing Flame, Easy Flash, and Player K together. The team that has shown the world that MNK needs to be respected still, having some of the most incredible KP games all the way back in finals, number 3 overall in Champs, and they were only 1 fight away from actually taking that whole championship. If they only got that big win over TSM, there is that potential, and my eye still is on Easy Flash. He has been the prodigal son all the way from Indonesia. He has become one of the best players in the world, basically. And what has really impressed me throughout his run from last year is that he's getting even better and better. One thing I noticed during the fights, besides his impeccable aim, he has such great aptitude for the game, and he's so good at using jump peaks, using walls to his advantage. His parkour movement is also unparalleled from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, and I love an MNK team. I'm not trying to be biased. My carpal tunnel's telling me that I love MNK too much as well. But I've been absolutely obliterated by this team. I come across them in rank all the time. Their cohesion and stuff is just, I blink and I'm dead and I'm a death box. And it's amazing to see these teams really do this. I've been keeping up with recent scrims, and I'm going to go for the Boogie Boarders. They've been performing consistently, so this could be their rise to fame if they can keep this performance up in Pro League matches. I can't say I'm anywhere near their pro level, but again, another team I've come across in rank, and I'm just yeeted back to the lobby as a death box. And with their strong duo of Raki and Fussy from the previous roster, Onic, they finished 7th in the playoffs in Year 3. Adding Panna to the mix, I have high hopes for this team moving forward. All players have the most actual LAN experience and individually show top-tier results. Boogie Boarders I've known to fight edge and play zone. So if they can keep their cohesion tight, I believe this is a team to keep your sights on. But I know we're rearing to get started. Our first match of the day is on Storm Point. We know where we're going. We know the teams, and we're ready for the action. Let's get into it.
I think we're still, we might be a couple of minutes away from the lobby starting up.
Well, let's have a watchful eye. We'll have a watchful eye on these teams we've just talked about. And maybe speaking of watchful eyes, where are the teams landing? Do you know? Many drop spot contests we're looking forward to?
That is a good question. We've got a couple. We're going to be, I think we're starting out on Storm Point today, so there should be a couple there. I think we're going to see Ash Esports, who's a new team coming in, potentially going up against Serenity. A couple of Australian rollers, one MNK player over in Jurassic Park. Of course, it should be noted, Storm Point has drastically changed since last year, right? Like, if you guys haven't had a chance to jump in much after the update happened, I think there's maybe, 7 POIs that are different from previously. We've got new ones, very strong new POIs like Cedo Station, like Watson's Pylon. But then some have been downgraded as well. So we see Fish Farms got changed into Devastated Coast, which isn't quite as good. And then you've got, Echo Station, where essentially Gale Station, or Echo HQ, where Gale Station used to be. And then even on the north side, you've also got some changes like, the removal of Thunderwatch as a POI. It's still kind of there, but it's now kind of connected to Lightning Rod as well. But yeah, it's opened up some options. That's why I think we're seeing teams like Divine land up at Zeus Station up north, because again, that's quite a strong POI. PK, or should I say now Legends Gaming, now with their newfound respect that they got from standing on the podium at the ALGS Championship, they're going to be landing over at Cedo Station, because that's allowed them to stake a claim on a strong POI.
Yeah, so I've noticed Ash and Serenity, at Jurassic Park, they've been fairly even contests so far in scrims. I wonder if they might change their tactic a little bit. As you're saying, there's quite a few extra POIs around the spot, more loot pools and stuff. Even if it's not a major POI, you can find some more loot pools there. I also know we might have a double contest for DNZ and KPG Dax. I've noticed DNZ's been dominating a little bit more in scrims. Do you reckon KPG might change their tactics?
I do feel like here in week 1 is where DNZ and KPG will make this decision happen. Where this double contest is going to happen on Storm Points. It's going to happen in World's Edge. And I do believe it started all the way back in the offseason, looking back at the Apex Festival DOU qualifiers, if I remember correctly. It was a bit of that rivalry where they would just contest each other, really look to ruin each other's games. And DNZ is used to this kind of situation. I do believe from last year against Adal Wolves, it was the same kind of spot. It was the same kind of action over at Lightning Rod. And DNZ just needs to stand tall against KPG and show them who's boss. If not, it's going to be a problem all throughout this split, because losing out members early, it's going to be tough with Divine around you. You have Akuma playing Command Center. One thing I've also noticed, since we don't have Moist anymore, it's Bearclaw Gaming taking Cascade Falls, and there are a few updates also on the south side. Boogie Boarders, which you talked about a while ago, Lace, since they have 2 POIs under the station with Echo HQ and Coastal Camp, and with the newest update adding another ring Coastal Camp right now, I wonder if any team will try to push them out of it just to get a little bit of that extra intel.
Yeah, exactly right. And I'm not trying to be biased here because we're APAC-South and we produce, Dark Zero and Moist Esports, but, a couple of back-to-back championships, I think. But, are there any teams that we have today that you think might live up to their performance so far? Might be a big question. We haven't jumped into a game just yet, but any insights where you think they could hit the nail on the head like these epic teams?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely. I mean, we're not going to see them today, but while we're talking about some of these epic teams, Iron Blood Gaming have definitely been impressing me lately. Obviously, these guys came from that sort of Tom Young Kung roster. It's a little bit changed from their glory days. Killer Pos no longer there. We've got Asia's in there now, and I feel like he's really stepped up for them, right? Dexter has always been a god. Ziki, while he's been sort of in and out of that Tom Young Kun roster for a while, obviously performed when they got to LAN last year. But I really feel like Asia's maturation as a player is what has really put these guys back on top in this region, and they are playing a fun brand of Apex. They will run you down, and they will kill you. And when we saw in scrims that there was a fun little section where, if you guys weren't keeping up with this, beacons were spawning at a 100% rate. It happened in our tournament last weekend at the Longshot Invitational. And what that meant was, if you were an edge team, you were playing, like, say, Bloodhound, you could get so many player scans. You always knew where the other team were, and they were just, like, hitting the beacon and then running at someone, hitting the beacon, running at someone. And to enable a playstyle like that was really fun to watch. It'll be slightly harder to do because obviously the beacons have been fixed now in the lead up to Pro League, but that doesn't take away from their fighting prowess. I mean, I think they've really pushed themselves back up to the top of the region with the likes of DreamFire and some of the others as one of the, like, S-tier elite fighting teams in APAC-South.
Yeah, we love when Apex hits us with something that's not supposed to work. And, something else that we are coming into that's not supposed to work is our wonderful Watson gens healing from outside of the building. We've seen a couple of teams maybe use that as a tactic. I wonder how many Watsons we're going to see in this game. That's
a good question there, Lace, because we've actually been seeing a lot of Watson in the meta, right?
Yes.
So that could very well be coming into play today. I mean, thinking about the meta, we'll get to see a little bit later when we start seeing, the team comps come together. But just one of the other things I wanted to mention quickly was Conduit. Obviously, the newest legend introduced over the off-season has definitely been a factor. I feel like if you're contesting, she's almost a must. She's that good in contests. But even beyond that, she is still a very viable character with her ability to reset aggro.
Yeah, she almost gives you like a second life in a way with the shield regen, obviously placed correctly by teammates. Dax, are you excited to see any particular meta changes with characters? We've got the Conduit, we've got a little bit of the Watson. I wonder if we're still going to have Catalyst, splitting away the path. Who do you think most of these teams will be choosing?
I do feel like Catalyst still has a spot in the meta. Those barricades are very, very strong. When you put up the Dark Veil, sure, it takes a while longer with that cooldown only coming online yet again once it's down. But you've seen how Kata was such a key component of last year's meta and how these teams are comfortable playing her. But of course, at the front line, it's still going to be Bangalore. It's still probably going to be Horizon. Those two enable so much for these teams.
That's awesome stuff, Dax. And now we're itching to get started. Our first matches on Storm Point. We know the drop spots. We know the teams. And we're ready for the action. Let's take out game one.
Alrighty, looks like we are into our first game here on Storm Point. And this is something that I've been waiting to see for a while, is something I've noticed in scrims as well, is this new tactic of people trying to steal tridents from each other. I mean, it's not completely new, but around certain parts of the map, I haven't seen as much down towards Cenote Caves like we saw just there. Interestingly, AGL didn't actually go for the contest this time. And when I say contest, I mean contesting for that particular Trident. I don't mean, you know, contesting a POI overall, because the rest of Legends Gaming are landing up at Cedo Station, but strafing, obviously, a team who wants that quick rotation, Dax, are going to use that to their advantage.
I mean, something that they did all the way back in Champs anyway, and now DNZ having to deal with the contest that we have been expecting. Yet keep going gaming on the other side. Papa busy with the bins, but as of right now, DNZ, it's just always them being tested at the start of these kind of games. Make sure that everyone's alive and kicking, ready for the rotate. They're watching out for where KPG's going, and it's KPG who has to run away from them.
And you know, it's funny what I just said before about, you know, Conduit being a must-have. Apparently DNZ are so confident in not only their playstyle, but this contest. And, you know, as Lace said, they have been absolutely rocking KPG's world in these early contests of late. They haven't picked the Conduit. KPG have, but somehow still at a disadvantage.
I mean, DNZ, they have the Bloodhounds, so they really want to chase down KPG as soon as possible. KPG playing Gatekeeper while this is all happening. And back to our previous topic, this was used to be the location where, I believe, Strafing Flame, right, was trying to steal those Tridents away from Alliance back in Champs. KPG, though, still with the overlook against DNZ, and as of right now, it's just DNZ looting around the boxes, the buildings, trying to find any more loot to take the fight to keep going gaming.
I'm not sure if, I was just having a look around at some of the other contests that we were expecting. There was, you know, Ash versus Serenity down in Jurassic Park. Serenity have only loaded in as a duo. I'm not sure if they just didn't have their third or they got eliminated, you know, really quickly and we didn't see it. But either way, they seem to have dodged each other. And then both... actually, no, oh, wow, the duo got the beacon scan, actually. So you can see Serenity have just, in Jurassic Park in the middle there, they've got the beacon scan, then popped an evac to head in. And Ash have actually given them that respect and then guessed off the first ring and gone the wrong way down to Barometer. Very interesting division of the POI there, especially considering it was a 3v2.
And straight to the south right, you got Kill Devil as well as Boogie Borders still around. Rotation for Boogie Borders, just moving west from Echo and Coastal Camp. That new Trident in between AGL and Boogie Borders a while ago. It's gone for the time being. Hyper rotation, of course, quickly from Legends Gaming, moving into the middle of the map. So you can already see the teams that got the read thanks to the initial rig console. They're trying to play around the area of Oasis and Cascade Falls. Legends Gaming might see KAKKOII here. I do believe a little bit of that distance between high and low ground will keep them away. But beyond that, it's just these teams trying to keep away from each other. Ash, though, trying to find a building to work with and throwing out the smokes to keep the opposition at bay.
Yeah, I feel like we're almost watching like the red herring fight down here, right? These guys have gone completely the wrong way. And that's possibly going to make Kill Devil as well think that... because Kill Devil do not have ring info. So, yeah, they could well think, oh, it's a Barrow ring. We're just seeing, you know, Ash pull up. That means we're in the right place. Sometimes you have to play... you have to infer the information off other teams when you're not in the right place. Oh! That's, they're in the wrong place, and looks like they're in the wrong place at the wrong time as well, Dax.
And they're in trouble. Ash already on the hunt. Soyo as well as Yasif bring a little bit of damage.
Boogie Board is coming in too.
Oh, he's gonna go in there. It's dangerous. And Boogie Board is, as you mentioned, ready to go for the third party. But it's already a 1-for-1 for time being. Ash Esports is gonna be in trouble. Eventually, Kill Devil will be eliminated. But can Soyo get the hell out? Yasif trying to go for a bit of a shield bat reset. And for the time being, they're in cover. But for how long? Rolling Thunder also the call. Boogie Borders are on the hunt. Ash Esports, they're so low now. They need a bit of a reset here, Genome.
Yeah, Fussy's on the chase. He does manage to take down Yase, and you can see Boogie Borders in that perfect third-party position come in at just the right time to start picking up some kills and cleaning up. They only managed to grab one in the end, and Soyo has managed to get away. So a single member just limping away after that fight. They have actually noticed him. Can he get to the gravity cannon? Doesn't actually go for that. He's going to go somewhere else. And I mean, at least... you're the bang, right? You got double time, you got smokes to try and help you try and make a break for it.
And let's not forget, with Conduit being part of the meta, that's the support class, so you can still craft those banners. In Ash Esports, if they can keep alive with one player, right, they can fight as a full squad later on. But it just goes to show also, Boogie Borders, their veteran prowess. There's a lot of hype for this roster, and it's just about them building chemistry throughout the split to become even better.
Exactly. I mean, we know all three of these players has what it takes, right? I mean, Fussy, you know, obviously top 7 at LAN, Raki top 7 at LAN, Panna, definitely one of the best controllers in the region. So it is a pretty exciting roster, I have to say. Akuma, another one that I'm excited to see how they do this year. I felt like they were definitely coming on the up last year, right? You know, Limo, I think, was showing he definitely had some skills about him, and yeah, it's interesting to see if they'll do any better in year 4.
I mean, there are a bunch of teams like that, right? You look at Lightning Unicorn, which used to be the former Buram roster. I do believe the old 505 boys are around in the competition as well. And it's really just a new year for these teams to reset themselves, get a little bit better. I'm also watching for some of the rotations right now. You still have Serenity and SWQ staying around Cascade Falls, nearby Akuma that you've mentioned. Bearclaw Gaming, the ones actually evacuating from their initial POI. And also looking at NoCredit, Savior still here, working his way through the PLQs, I believe, just to make it back to Split 1. There's a lot of effort for NoCredit to try and find their mark this time around.
Can they get that a little bit better? KPG, as we've talked about, one of the new teams. Haven't really seen any of these guys in Pro League before, I believe. And yeah, you know, trying to take Lightning Rod off DNZ is a tough ask as a team who I think, you know, has been close to qualifying for LAN at times. More of a disengaged play to start off today. I think that's honestly kind of smart. If you're that far behind in the contest, grabbing 50% of the loot and getting out with your lives is a good result.
And DNC, alongside AGL, I feel like two teams that kind of missed out from last split, especially AGL, when they were in that top 5 and they fell down to, I believe, top 8 at the very end of the finals. So perhaps a better year here for those two squads. Watching Legends, though, time for them to build their legacy, perhaps, in this outing. Already poking, prodding towards that building. You can see that they're watching out for both DreamFire as well as outside across them. At least, perhaps a gun spot for them to work with. Smoke's thrown. You know that Watson setups on the inside, and as of right now, it's still that central location here, Genome, where all these teams are gonna cluster because of the next ring for.
You can see he was 5 away from the Evo there. He was getting some damage in with the old smoke canisters. Only needed one more to pop it, but gets there with the scout all the same. This is a good spot from Legends, honestly. If we have a look at where the next ring is going to end up, that's a fantastic spot to play. It looks like it could pull to either side of Cascade Falls, maybe just in front of it, and any of those options will actually favor Legends or KAKKOII, who we see there set up underneath the waterfall.
And Lightning Unicorn also flying into Cascade, getting peppered immediately by Akuma. Jackyut needs shields back, but beyond that, they get another building into their command. So overall, these teams playing the zone right now, they've already figured out how the ring's gonna go, getting as much cover as possible moving forward. And this is the power, of course, with these new compositions in tow. You have these Watsons more into play. I think Lightning Unicorn has something a little bit unique with both the Valkyrie as well as the Crypto in the roster. But beyond that, you're gonna see at least a little bit of support with either that Conduit, right, coming into play for other teams. You're gonna have that Watson for others, and eventually many of these teams will have to bunker down if they can choose to.
Let's head in that direction.
So Boogie Board is very much on the outside right now. Will they end up playing more of that edge style this season? We'll just have to see, I guess. I mean, they're playing from Echo HQ and Coastal Camp, right? So that does kind of suggest that you know, the majority of endings would favor a zone, an edge style over a play style, but we'll just have to see how they go with that. Oh no, Lahim's taken down already. That's a disastrous move from KAKKOII, who honestly had a very stable spot underneath him. I don't know if Legends maybe went down the zip to push them or something like that, but that does seem like a big oh, there's a care package out there. Maybe that's what it was. Lahim was trying to get out there for the care package, perhaps, and he's paid for his hubris.
I mean, the dead box is out there in the open, and you really have to be careful here for KAKKOII because Legends Gaming, with that altitude advantage, and especially the fact that they have this pylon already in check, They're just ready to pick off players one by one. It's something that Legends loves to play. When you see Strafing Flame call for a bunker down position, they're just so good at picking apart players from above.
We've still got 2 teams out in the zone, by the way. Ash is trying to get back in and potentially get a res, I believe. They've crafted banners in the ring. And then you've got Godhand all the way over at Down Beast, just playing that very much that crafting in the zone, run around with a trident kind of style. So at zone 3 now, they've scanned zone 4 and got the information that it will actually shift a bit north. This is very much going to favor Bearclaw Gaming, who currently have a fantastic spot inside a house that is just to the west of Cascade Falls. That's gonna suit them very, very well.
And keep going just to the north of them by the Spiders. And one thing I've also noticed, DNZ, they're playing an edge style because of the rotations being a little bit longer. Lightning Unicorn sending out that crypto drone to get that intel. And speaking of, we're watching DNZ right now. They can poke and prod those buildings as much as they want, but it's going to be so difficult for them to run at their opponent at this rate.
Okay, but they've got evac towers. They've just hit the player beacon, and they've actually noted a really good spot in zone where they can play. So just watching their pings, I think DNZ are going to be going in the right direction here. This is almost like a picture-perfect way to use that Bloodhound, the player scans, for victory here. This really could suit DNZ, unless these other teams come in right before them. We'll have to see. Godhand are trying to land on that gravity cannon at exactly the same time.
Oh, but losing members out already, and DNZ getting to the grav cannon early on. They see that that box is easy loot for them, and eventually DNZ, they navigate through such a perilous height, make it away to the other side. So Bearclaw Gaming to their south, you got Keep Going, got the lone member of Godhand nearby. Beyond that, Bearclaw Gaming, they're feeling very fortified. They have Heck on that Watson especially. They're marking their closer targets. AGL, on the other hand, already popping against the Dark Veil and moving forward.
Wow, this has been an interesting game of chess so far, honestly. We've not seen a lot of teams going down. Godhand making that rotation, obviously struggling a little bit. Weewoo is still alive, but the other 2 teammates, I don't think will get res anytime soon. But yeah, apart from that, honestly, it's been pretty chill. But now we're going to start to see things kick off with NoCredit being one of the first teams going to out.
Yeah, it's finally time though. AGL might be in trouble. They're dealing with multiple squads. You got Legend Gaming on one side, you have Boogie Borders on the other, and they do find Soyo, the final member of Ash Esports, and kick them to the curb. Divine though, on the other hand, Shady catching out Pana, and they're still in such a good position here. Boogie Borders trying to make their way through. You got SWQ nearby as well. It's Raki, the one on the left here for Boogie Borders now.
DreamFire, they're trying to hold out War Monster Firebird, one of our newly qualified teams here. Another one of the teams from that Asian region. Boogie Borders actually go out in 17. And as I mentioned, both of those teams who are outside and crafting, they've both gone down as well. So I think what we're seeing here is just so many teams really playing hard zone. This is a little bit interesting as far as APAC-South goes. A more conservative style than we have seen in recent times. Maybe it's just the zone. Maybe it's because it's such a central zone. But this really is favoring those teams who've gotten good positions early. Again, Bearclaw Gaming, maybe even KPG up to the north in probably the best positions right now.
Yeah, effectively, right? The evolution of the region. DreamFire, though, on the other hand, keeping their claim. Trying to find at least an opening here, but already you have 3MC getting one. Does get down along the way, so a bit of a trade there, courtesy of Sam.
Wingman!
3MC immediately. The Wingman, such a powerhouse in the right hands. And outside, going now to their namesake, going out to the outside to find a way through.
Yeah, well, their building's very close to the zone, so, you know, do they want to leave it late? They probably could if they wanted to, but I think they're just going to duck inside and then try and hold out these other teams like DreamFire and War Monster Firebird from there. You can see they're actually pushing up in and around. Wow, Bearclaw, why are they outside? Honestly, they need to get back inside their building, I think. They've got such a fantastic position. If one of them gets caught outside and they die, that will be giving up some serious placement points.
I mean, they have the pylon on the inside. There is a window that they can peek in and out of, and that's exactly what Belkin is doing for the time being. Belkin and the rest of Bearclaw holding against AGL as well as outside. Already the Bloodhound with the Beast of the Hunt spotting these targets. But effectively, Bearclaw, you mentioned the Genome, they just need to stay in, make sure the other two squads fight against each other as they still have prime location so far, and you can see it already. A good peer through the window courtesy of Heck, trying to break down that pylon already. DreamFire is gone from this round immediately, and still the scuffle continues here.
Yeah, so many teams. We see one over near the gravity cannon as well. This is DNZ versus Divine here. A 2v2 at the moment. Shady and Papa both very, very low as Pricey tries to get the bat off and clutch this one out for his team. He needs to buy some time now. Shady does get the bat off. It's a 2v1. Joker, can he play from behind this? Looks for a swap. He's only got these shields to play behind. They're taking wingman fire from up on a high. This is a very tough fight for both teams, honestly.
Yeah, but while this happens, Divine trying to go for a reset. Also, DNC now in trouble. Joker having a shield wall in front of him. Gets stunned up along the way, and now he's taking too much damage. Low HP, gets the banner instead of the armor swap, and that's it for DNC. Divine, they even bring Wayward back to life, so for the time being, they need the hold here, but grab the cannon, but keep going. KAKKOII also nearby, keep going, he's going for it. Immediately Black Hole into play, and it's just a cluster of missiles heading to their location. KAKKOII is gone, Divine's in trouble, and perhaps they will be sent to heaven here. There you go, Divine's gone now.
What are you meant to do about that? I mean, Shady had the gold knock to res there, but even that, you know, there was so many grenades, there was a bang ult, there was a horizon ult, there was absolutely no chance Divine were getting out of that alive. Full sent, taking on a new meaning with the amount of death boxes we've got over here at the gravity cannon. Now I'm really looking at Lightning Unicorn on the eastern side of this. You're in a good spot. We've got 3 teams taking up position in the sort of God spot building. As we said, Bearclaw Gaming still on the inside. AGL have taken over the roof. And then we've got outside, they did lose Nolsang, but they've still got 2 alive underneath.
And Keep Going Gaming now in trouble. You did go for that push towards Gravity Cannon. One still standing. Godhand's gone. And Akuma might be next here for potential top 6 spots. There you go. Akuma's gone too. Keep Going. It's the only one with 1 member towards the north side. Lightning Unicorn, you mentioned the Genome. They're taking their sweet time. They have that Crypto. They have that Valkyrie. And they can actually play away from everyone else and wait for the skirmish in the house to finish.
Yeah, mostly placement points at this point for LU. They've got 4 kills on their side. That's pretty solid. And then there's a solo from KPG. You can see Bible just hiding behind a rock over there. And then you've got the 3 teams on the house. It will be ending sort of just ahead of what we see here. Just in front of Bearclaw Gaming out in the open. So essentially all the teams are just going to have to start wandering around there. But I think Lightning Unicorn, they can hug the rock next to them for quite a while. The teams in the building might be okay. I think the ones on top, which is AGL, they're going to really have to try and make sure they clear out their angles against KPG and LU.
And they can effectively take Bible's spot by this point. They know exactly that there's only one member on the other side. And AGL will reposition and force Bible away. AGL on the hunt, though. They see the smoke right in front of them. They've already cracked the armor, and they've cracked the face of Bible along the way. 4 squads now remaining. Bearclaw and outside instead having their own scuffle here. Apple trying to bring the action back. And look at outside, go on the inside. A little bit of circumvention here from the Bearclaw Gaming squad. Wingman shots ring again. KAKKOII is already down, and this might be outside sent away. 3 squads remaining from this point on.
Lala Bank demolishing people with the Nemesis at the back here, just anchoring it down for Lightning Unicorn. He's also got an EMP ready to go whenever it needs to. AGL lost 1 to that Nemesis, but the other 2, Jackie and QQ, have a chance here. No, only QQ left alive. They're struggling to keep it together, and Bearclaw similarly down to 2 members.
AGL's gone too. Lightning Unicorn, can they hold on? Bearclaw, they found prime real estate early into the game. Will it pay dividends? The 2 versus 2 action. Brunado gonna be in trouble. Bearclaw eventually still gets the win. And this is exactly what we're talking about here, Genome. The evolution of APAC-S in 1 map alone. We're seeing the zone player teams already getting their just dues.
Yeah, incredible zone spotting there from Bearclaw Gaming. to take out the win. I mean, a lot of teams, as we saw, you know, Legends Gaming, KAKKOII, they were all clustering down near the waterfall lace. And then at that point, the zone shifted north. That caught a lot of teams off guard, but not Bearclaw Gaming, who just managed to sit there and really capitalize on that fantastic zone read from them.
Yeah, a couple of underdogs popping off, Genome, in our first match. Not what I was expecting from our teams, but, you know, jumping back into the swing of things, we are here for APAC-South Pro League, where 30 teams are split into A, B, and C, and we have Group A and B competing. And my God, they just came out of the gate in this match. Genome, we saw Boogie Borders, you know, completing a successful third party at the start, but unfortunately getting knocked out quite early. Not the performance we were wanting to see. And then the fight around the gravity cannon, where teams are just dropping like flies, Genome.
Yeah, I mean, Divine did so well to win that. With, you know, there was just so much incoming fire from so many different enemy teams in the middle of that fight. That was, you know, sometimes you say like, oh yeah, this is a clean 3v3. That was about the dirtiest 3v3 you've ever seen. And after it finished, it was just like they may as well have just sort of, you know, jumped into the death boxes themselves at that point. It was really that hopeless.
Yeah, having a fight around there and having to make your rotation into that ring, you know, you could come out on top, but then you've got teams waiting on the outskirts. And, you know, we were sort of talking about Legends at the start, and Conduit came up a little bit, you know, with a regen of shields. I'm having a look at the Legend picks, and Genome, I don't know if you've noticed, but everyone has a Bangalore. I think there's one team that don't have a Bangalore, and especially playing on, you know, Storm Point, where, you know, you've got to make your little way to a, you know, between POIs and stuff like that. Do you feel teams might change compositions, or are you going to see the same coming into the next match?
I think staying like in Storm Point, yeah, I think it'll stay pretty similar. But that is a good pick up there with the high prevalence of Bangalore. I think it's always been a good pick on Storm Point. And yeah, as you say, now becoming an almost necessary pick, which is interesting because obviously there's less digis around than there's ever been. You know, you don't see it in the crafter anymore. Even some of the smart loot and the assault bins, that sort of stuff has been nerfed. So just having a look at some of the damage these teams did, pretty significant up the top there. And then having a look at how these teams actually picked up points going throughout our first match here on Storm Point. You know, Bearclaw, Lightning Unicorn, AGL, of course, all picking up quite a few, 18 apiece for those top two. And then AGL, who previously have been a very strong World's Edge team, but not necessarily picking up as many on Storm Point. So this is a good sign for them.
Yeah, if we have a look at this board as well, you know, you see Legends Gaming there at 12th and Boogie Borders, you know, some of our teams which usually rotate and place high, you know, grabbing a couple of kills, but not being able to make it to the end. I think there was 17 teams in Zone 4, so, you know, it's a little bit hard to get through all of that mess, you know, and you just look at this, like Bearclaw Gaming, just having that position and just biding their time, being able to pick up some kills at the end, you know, after that fight of the Grav Cannon. Lightning Unicorn, again, a team that I was not expecting to place up to there. So it's really exciting stuff that, you know, they're these teams that we didn't really keep our eye on performing so well. But that was our first match. You know, we got the second match coming up in Storm Point. Before we do, we're going to take a short break before we get back into the action.
champions of the Apex Legends Global Series.
And we are, of course, here for APAC-South Pro League, where we have 30 teams split into groups A, B, and C. Today you're watching A and B, and we just had our first game, Dax, which was a juicy one indeed. Are you feeling pumped for our second round?
It was a breath of fresh air. It was zone-tastic from the starting point, and eventually it was the team that found the best spot early on, Bearclaw Gaming taking that win. You guys though mentioned a while ago in the post panel that most of these teams, of course, running the Bangalore, but look who's in that top 2 location, Lightning Unicorn, the only team without that Bangalore. You instead have that Crypto, you have that Valkyrie, you have that Watson. They played their timings perfectly, at least to make it to that second place spot.
Yes, and that was just exceptional from them. You know, I hope to see some of our, bigger names sort of performing in this. But as we head into our second game, this is Storm Point Match 2. Take it away, Dax.
Thank you there, Lace, as we are getting into game number 2. Yet again, I am joined with the great Genome, as per usual. And Genome, we saw a while ago, okay, sure, all of these timings will happen later on into the game. All of these fights will happen once we have those closer rings. But this time around, do we see a little bit more of that edge play bearing fruit for teams on the outskirts, like AGL, like Boogie Borders, like DNZ? We'll find out very, very soon.
Yeah, I'm fascinated to see if that's, a shift in the playstyle of the region overall, or if it was just precipitated by the fact that we had a very central ring that, allowed a lot of team space in rings 2 and 3.
Not only that, I think Lightning Unicorn proving just a few of these shifts early on. They got that devastated coast call early on today, and they made it work, at least make it to top 2, but yet again, we watched the contest occur. Keep Going Gaming versus DNZ. Round 2 fight a while ago. Both teams just basically ran away from each other, especially Keep Going Gaming. DNZ though, tossing some nades, breaking through these doors. Joker already en route towards Keep Going Gaming. And I do feel like this time around, Genome, these two teams will clash.
Yeah, Keep Going Gaming. It's, trying to live up to their name and just run away, I guess. But this time, I don't know, maybe they're going to turn around. They've seemed to... they've used the gravity lift to try and grab the high ground above DNZ. And they're getting the scan here just to confirm their positions. But it feels like this one is going to come to blows. They say, we're tired of you getting rid of half of our loot. We actually, we kind of want that.
Running, time to fight, and here we go with the pop shots from Bible. They have that high ground, as we mentioned. Keep Going Gaming though, going on to the inside. They lose one along the way, so 1-for-1 for the time being. But Keep Going Gaming, they have the firepower to fight. It's all left to KH though to try and hold Papa with a sliver of HP. The shield wall yet again not enough, and DNC this time around first booted away.
Oh, even the Mozam coming out there, but it almost got the clutch up with it. But this time, it's KPG. So look, this is why we don't trust the scrim results too much, because what happens on game day, it's usually different.
This is where it matters, fight, and that's 1-0 towards Keep Going Gaming. They take the fight to DNZ. They don't run away anymore. Speaking of a potential fight, Boogie Borders rotating immediately to a central location. They moved inside the pylon where Kill Devil is nearby. Legends Gaming also quickly rotating along the way, just using that sky dive now to get into position. And as it stands, this can be a big clash between Titans. Boogie Borders on one side, Legend Gaming's on the other. They're just at breathing distance for the time being, as Ash Esports also has a scuffle by the Forbidden Zone here.
Yep, lots of teams. You can see evacing now into pylon. That certainly is where it looks the ring is shifting. The team, of course, starting there is Kill Devil. So they're going to have position probably up the top. Nice and happy there. I mean, if you've ever played TDMs on pylon, you know that it's actually kind of hard to take this position away from people. It's quite protected from the top, which means it's not as easy to, say, push people out of there with like a bang ult or something like that. There are quite a few angles, so, you know, you've got a lot of different zips to cover. But apart from that, honestly, expect these guys to be putting out some big damage from up top and be farming those armors.
And speaking of damage, here comes outside already fending off SWQ. It's just Yuling, the only one still standing. Trying to wait for the action. And all this happens, Bearclaw Gaming also finding some targets. It's Serenity, the only duel we have right now. Boogie's already on the floor. Everything's left to Jesco here to try and survive, but Bearclaw Gaming, they're coming off from a good start with that first map win. And they continue on with this momentum, that's the question, as they already eliminate the duo here.
Yeah, BCJ, G, kind of hoping it pulls to the north of Pylon. We don't really see it finish in the end of Pylon. It's usually sort of just to one of the sides. So teams will take up position in the middle quite a lot, and then they'll think about pushing to one side or the other once it is revealed where it goes. On the outside here, we're seeing WMFireBird get into it with Overlooked Entertainment, and they've almost completely taken down Surprisey. He's on a skerrick of health trying to get away, and he won't.
Oh. The ARC-Star, man. The ARC-Star with the black hole. Enough to just catch two members immediately. WFB, they'll take that win. You mentioned a while ago, so towards Pylon, it might not be a zone that you'll want to end in when the ring really closes. Ash Esports already think ahead of the curve. They're on the compound on the outside. I think a few shots within Nemesis. Rokoko very eager to poke and get that red armor. And that's the beauty of having the conduit, right? If you poke and fight, you can still use that radiant transfer on yourself. Just try building up a little bit more of that shielding. Raki also finding one more. That's rudely gone, and Boogie Borders takes a KP there.
Yeah, and teams are definitely getting better at this, right? They're learning more and more how to use Conduit and maximize her potential. And there's a couple of different ways you can do that. Here's, we'll talk about that after. Here's a good view of the ring. In the meantime, you can see most teams there all the way inside Pylon. A couple just chilling outside. KAKKOII. Let's see, do they have... No, yeah, they don't have zone knowledge, so that's why they're over at Barometer. And yeah, the rest of them have kind of got it sorted, but you got to say, those teams on the outside, they're like Lightning Unicorn, Ash, and NoCredit. They might look like they're on the outer at the moment, but the zone will likely shift in one of those directions, right? And so they've kind of got like a 33% chance that they get Godspot.
Yeah, they're backing on the pull basically and Kill Devil for the time being. They're the ones in control. We've seen it in New Storm Point. If you land on a certain POI with a bit of altitude, that includes like Pylon, that includes like Sioux Station a little bit. You also can have that Western Building and Sito Station. You can take advantage of those early rings and yet again build a bit of that armor. But you've noticed something, Gino. What is it?
Yeah, I was just looking around the map, and WMFireBird, they saw AGL in a Trident and just absolutely blitzed them. You can see QQ actually full died from that, and AGL's Jackie and XX just got away.
It took one game, Gino, for these teams to try and go for the full ascent yet again. Classic APAC and Boogie Borders on the other hand, also poking against the opposition. I do feel like that's Bearclaw Gaming against them on the other side. And speaking of, outside also, inside now, the same kind of length of Boogie Borders. There's a lot of sharing here on Pylon, just keeping one spot of this whole circle to themselves.
Sharing is caring. It seems like that's the idea with the new Watson Pylon bug, at least. But we're focused on Pylon the POI this map. And it looks like the ring actually will be shifting a little bit more south, at least to start with. So that means teams like DreamFire, who are just sort of lurking on the hill behind NoCredit, are going to be in a good position. Ash, they're kind of split holding these couple of buildings up here at the moment. They will be okay for the next ring, but then they're going to have to start thinking about their next moves.
It's gonna be a little difficult with KAKKOII ready to push into them, and then you got Bearclaw Gaming gatekeeping them for the time being. You watch Legends Gaming though, they had a good position a while ago, but they just couldn't actually get into the next ring in time. And now those Strafing Flame looking on around the outside. Player K using that ult accelerant to get that Pylon back immediately. So as it stands, Legends Gaming is just happy to play into the zone, something we saw a little bit back in LAN. And then move to the next location, ready with that Watson Pylon yet again.
Legends just looking on here, as we said, because it's pulling south, this kind of building and that kind of position that Legend are holding could actually be quite strong for them. Lightning Unicorn looks like they've lost that gamble, that 33% gamble if it does continue to pull south, and they'll have to fly over as well.
Stay happy.
Scouting around on them, I'm not sure they've actually got any evac towers left, unless it's on the Crypto, who's currently in his drone. Could be a little bit tough for them to make that one, whereas we've actually got 3 evac towers on the side of Ash Esports, so if need be, they've certainly got some reposition options.
Yeah, and the evac towers has just been such a good addition to the game. You don't need the Valkyrie anymore to reposition if need be. You can actually just have that in your inventory and move later on to the game. SWQ though, only a 2-man that we're watching for the time being. He took a lot of damage early on into the game. Also watching on the outskirts, Divine, God Hand moving into the Forbidden Zone, as is AGL. Yuling though, poking to with that triple take. Trying at the very least to charge up that shield. He's 100 away from that purple at least, and that's something we're gonna see a lot between, I believe, Zone 3 to Zone 4. These teams still with the snipers, especially if they have a Conduit or a Watson, they're gonna happy to play that sniping game and look to build up those red shields as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Kill Devil started off with like triple blues. They're already up to triple purples. Still got some damage to do if they want to get to reds before they have to shift out of here. But, you know, with Nemesis Sentinel 30-30 on their side, that's a pretty decent outfit there for them to make that move. God Hand have just flown in and tried to find somewhere. Can they coexist, though? It looks like it's with Boogie Borders, and they've got the first hit onto them with Hannah down.
Panda's down, and Raki is next on the list, but Raki holds his own, and he's found 2 for his troubles immediately. It means the trouble for God Hand. They've been swatted away by Boogie Borders, and there is no sharing in this location.
Yeah, but Bearclaw, they get a sniff of that blood with the Bloodhound. Of course, Belkin, one of his favorite picks. He's very happy to be on that Legend once again, and they will, unfortunately, eliminate one of those Boogie Borders members. And you know there's just going to be rage in the team comms right now. We do, of course, have our multi-view up and running, so if you guys want to hear some of that, feel free to pop over there. I'm sure one of our mods in chat can give you the link to the multi-view. Because, you know, they get sent by God Hand, they repel it successfully, even after taking that first loss, but then they can't do anything about the follow-up third party, and now there's only 2 of them left.
Yeah, Bearclaw even scans Boogie Borders and decides to disengage from that point on. SWQ though, on the outskirts now. At least a little bit of that top up still. Here on the southeast side of Pylon. Also watching out for DreamFire, looking around, especially to see if they can move into the building of NoCredit. But all the way across the map, WMFireBird, they're still bringing the action. Going after those flying on the way. I do believe that's AGL and KAKKOII now moving forward into the Pylon area. And KAKKOII's next on the list. They're landing nearby in between Boogie Borders and Bearclaw. Gaming here, a bit of a reprieve, but apparently it's only good for one. Bastion, the only one still standing now. Kissan Lahim onto the floor. Can Bastion even stay alive from this point on? The hunt is on, and Boogie Borders decide to go on the prowl. KAKKOII's gone here too.
Yeah, doing their best as a duo there to still just grab a couple of points. You saw all those evacs going on up over Jurassic. So many teams pulling up from there. I mean, there was a beacon, but none of the teams were game to scan it because there were so many other teams in the vicinity. They didn't feel safe, which is obviously rough because, you know, they're coming in off the evac. They could have picked a far better position. We've actually had a diabolical ring shift from what we saw earlier. Not that many teams had scanned what the fourth ring was going, or the third ring was going to be, so the fourth one won't matter so much to them. But it's actually gone up towards Lightning Unicorn. So the first ship went south, but then it's been a real switchback here. And then we're getting another switch. Wow, this is a real ping pong of a ring, by the way.
Where is this ring going? It just reminds me of that screensaver we have during the off times here at Longshot. But beyond that, Lightning Unicorn, they still need to deal with a bit of trouble. That is Keep Going Gaming. Black hole into play yet again. Lightning Unicorn's taking a little bit of altitude now. Still away from the Rolling Thunder as well. Jackito already cracked with his shields. Got Gaps also the same kind of case. Get a little bit of time to reset for the time being. Akuma watching out for this action as well. while this happens, APL also having their own conflict at WMF. There's a clash, and there's an elimination of WMFireBirds, but Lightning Unicorn, they already hunted down their opponent. Keep going is set packing, and this is Lightning Unicorn staying in their location.
And just like, I mean, you see how good they are there. That's like the calmness under pressure. As you can see, NoCredit struggling at the moment against DreamFire, who looks like, well, they've actually taken a loss here. And oh my god, they actually pull that one off. NoCredit qualifying from PSQs, even though we've seen, you know, at least two of these guys in the Pro League before. They had to do it the hard way here, and they make it work against DreamFire.
Patience pays off, and not just through the PSQs, right? But NoCredit, we're watching out for DreamFire for so very long. You already know the history between Savior as well as Nexus, incredible players from the SAA region, now ready to do what needs to be done yet again. But the ring so far away from them. We're gonna need to get through Legends Gaming and SWQ from that spot. Lightning Unicorn happy for the time being, but as soon as they see that ring pull, it's gonna be outside. Divine looking for that location. Bearclaw Gaming, the duo here might be in trouble because Legends Gaming's coming at them, and NoCredit is right behind all of this.
Yeah, can they find a little bit of space? They don't have to go far to make it into this next ring. Wingman popping off here, still plenty of ammo left in that. And of course, Bangalore's are only getting better at abusing their smokes. We check in with Kill Devil here. Most of them have done an extra couple of hundred damage since we saw last time. So just creeping closer to those reds as the teams also get closer underneath them. It will eliminate about half of their playable space up top, but they'll still be okay up there for now.
Play for late game, basically. Bearclaw Gaming, though, the game is already a foot in front of them. Pylon on the outside. NoCredit looking for a bit of solution that we saw a while ago. Legends Gaming used that Dark Veil to move forward. Velka knocking down Nexus. So at least Bearclaw, they have a 2v2 in front of them. Do they dare push it? Beast of Dawn popped by Velka, the comfort pick, looking to pair it off. And here comes Belka now.
Oh my god.
For a target. Nexus still on the ground. Very cheeky indeed. Now already trapped in the armor. NoCredit, they're cornered here. Bearclaw Gaming are clearing their backs, but Bearclaw's the first one gone. NoCredit's next, and Legends Gaming have found the opening.
Oh, they just stomp down upon the rest of them and get a nice couple of death boxes there. They are rewarded with... Wow, Belkin, though, I mean, that guy puts out so much presence when he is on point that it kind of feels like they have a full team. It was like they were cosplaying as a full team there, essentially, and it fooled some teams for a little while, but Legends there, unfortunately, will see their end. That's it. On the other side of the river, there's only two players. It's SWQ as a duo, and if someone gets a whiff of this, they can actually take off that fantastic position. Lightning Unicorn have just realized, I think, and 30-30 shots are going out on that side, but there's so many teams on the inside that have to worry about their next move. You can see Boogie Boarders are one of them. The ring is at their back right now, and even Kill Devil are about to get pushed off this top level.
And not only that, outside Divine also having a bit of a skirmish. SWQ still in a good spot. This Lightning Unicorn hasn't assessed those numbers. They're getting hit by the crossfire as well. Akuma poking at them, but eventually Akuma's also going to need to move. We're watching Lightning Unicorn right now. They're crawling alongside that ring pull, basically. Divine, on the other hand, they're dealing with conflict from the front. Kill Devil still in the high ground, and eventually all these squads will need to meet each other in pitch combat. Divine's already sent home again. It's Akuma who stands tall for the time being outside nearby. Boogie Boarders still alive here. Akuma has a spot to work with a pylon, and at least they have some space to work with here.
Kill Devil finally having to move down now, trying to create some space with the energy barricade there. That new ultimate coming out of the conduit. The catwall will try and save them some time. Have to pull behind it just for a little bit of safety, and it's just craziness down here. LU, you can see they've taken out SWQ. They now have the other side of the river all to themselves. That's very important. The other four squads are in an absolute hailstorm of a battle over on the pylon side.
Yeah, grab your popcorn if you're LU. We're gonna watch all these other teams face off against each other before they fight you. And we're watching Legends Gaming still on the high ground. They know no pussies nearby. One of the members still alive here for Boogie Boarders. Outside though, sadly still have the small corner to work with, as we said a while ago. Boogie Boarders, they have 3 up as well. So 4 full squads ready to clash. This might be, though, a bit of a preview of what's to come. Legends on one side here, Gino, Boogie Borders on the other, and the clash for the crown may begin here.
Yeah, double Nemi and 30-30 on Lightning Unicorn as well, so you know they're going to be putting in the hurt as you approach them. That said, triple reds on the side of Legends Gaming. That also gives me a little bit of confidence in how these guys are going to play. Wingman and 2 Prowlers on their side as well, so it's not like they're going to have any issues with outside now going down to Boogie Borders. They've managed to get their full 3 back up, so an incredible turnaround of fortunes here for Boogie Borders as Legends finally try and make mincemeat of them.
Yeah, they're trying to take advantage of the situations. Legends still already with the advantage. Player K, only one still standing. Clean up Bruce there. Player K, moving one. One's in the corner, and Boogie Borders is gone, but look who's on the prowl. Lightning Unicorn, they've been watching like hawks, and now they're ready to build their mid. Player K, he cannot stand against them, and Lightning Unicorn from top 2 all go to top 1 now.
Beautifully played by them. They didn't wait at all. You saw LU, they knew the last 2 teams were fighting. Bam, they don't sit on their own position, they go straight in for it.
Yeah. What a game from Lightning Unicorn. Incredible last ring we just saw there. And welcome back, Lace. This time around, we're getting a little bit more of that APAC-S action that we all want.
Exactly right. You know, we're here for one of the best regions, Dax. You know, we're finally put on the map. APAC-South Pro League, we produce teams such as Dark Zero, you know, back-to-back champions, which doubled our prize pool. But, you know, I don't want to live in the past, even though we got some extra dollars. We're here to watch the teams from Australia, Singapore, Thailand, and more. You know, their chance to reach the regional finals and then potentially into the playoffs. But I love that zone, Dax. We love a good ring pull when it pulls into a zone. I know a lot of the teams have been practicing in team deathmatch for that specific zone. Boogie Borders were practicing a lot of that one. And even though they were a duo for most of the match, they managed to stay alive and get a revive for that specific zones. Dax, which team surprised you in this zone pull?
I mean, still Lightning Unicorn, we've been hyping them up from that first map, and they get away with that win. On the other hand, though, I think one team that really impressed me was NoCredit. They got 5 kills, even though they were in that top 10 spot. It just goes to show that there is that firepower. Another team down the list, WMFireBird, they were taking the fights early on the west side, even with the ring pull all the way towards Pylon. And those are the moments where you think for APAC, sure, there are these edge teams willing to fight against one another early on to just get themselves a good spot.
Yeah, so we obviously seen Lightning Unicorn come in clutch here, and they did well in the original match as well. So from our 2 matches that we've watched so far, any teams that might need to pick up the slack a little bit, Dax?
It does feel like DreamFire is the one to watch out for. They're still playing a bit of that older style that we saw from them last year. It's the same BOIs anyway from what we saw from 2023, but they were beaten back early, and we've seen from DreamFire in scrim results, it hasn't been the best. There were good showings yesterday if you're watching those scrims in the multiple channels that we have for it, but beyond that, they need to find that form that showed up back in finals, back in that first day of that group stage. I still love this moment though. You got Boogie Borders on one side, you got Legends Gaming on the other, and I'm very hyped up to see these kind of fights happen again and again in the upcoming weeks.
Yes, it's exciting when you've got a couple of teams forming as a duo and being able to get back into the action. And unfortunately, you know, player K just couldn't hold on as that zone closed. But as we take a look at our match here, obviously we have Lightning Unicorn there placing first with a fair few kills from the rest of the squad. And that's amazing to see. And Legend Gaming finally dipping their toes to the top. You know, they didn't do as well as they could have in the first match, along with Boogie Borders as well, Dax. They were sort of floating around the bottom and seemed to have pulled out something here to get themselves into the top 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And Boogie Borders look at Panda go 2k damage, 6 kills out of the 12. And that rockets up Boogie Borders to that second spot with 15 KP. They're tied up with Bearclaw Gaming there with 22. Legends Gaming a pretty even 10-10 as well. And looking down the order, I think one team that we need to watch out for still has to be AGL. 11 KP moving forward. They can be a beast unleashed. And we've talked about them struggling on store point. They found a few more spots right now coming into this year compared to their a little bit more awkward drops back in Bean last year. So I really want to see more from them. Beyond that, Lightning Unicorn, they're above and beyond the field so far.
Yeah, and as we said, we like a little bit of an underdog story, but we'll go take a break now before we get into match 3, and we'll see you soon.
I gotta admit, I may have tricked you. Whew, glad I got that off my chest.
Tell Death I said hello.
I feel Papa.
Welcome back, everybody. We just watched match 2 on Storm Point, and as we gear up for match 3, the final match on Storm Point, you know, where ample changes have been made to this map, where POIs, we see more contests. We're here for APAC-South, a region which has finally been put on the map for professional Apex. So we've had a couple of teams, Gino, that we've been keeping our eye on. Is your team living up to your expectations so far?
I mean, I guess if we're looking at the leaderboard overall, yes, no. I mean, there's 20 teams, right?
Maybe,
there's so many to keep track of, I guess. And if we have a look at that leaderboard, you can see, yeah, Lightning Unicorn well up the top there with 38. They're certainly outperforming my expectations so far. Boogie Boarders up the top. Legends, something I expected. AGL was something I was hoping to see because they've always been a little bit of a favorite of mine since they came in. Divine at 9 points at the moment. Want to see a little bit more from them. You know, DNZ getting contested. Obviously, that's going to make it a little tougher. DreamFire, probably expect a little bit more from them as well. But as we mentioned, you know, where these guys are landing on the map and how they're, you know, the contests they've got to deal with have also played a little bit of a factor here in how they are going so far.
Exactly right. And, you know, some teams can perform well on one map and then absolutely change tactics the next. So we do have our last match for Storm Point. So will we see Lightning Unicorn take out the top again, along with Bearclaw Gaming coming up just behind? They seem to dominate on Storm Point. And then we'd move on to World's Edge for match 4, 5, and 6. This is where player compositions could change, Genome. They could, have a few more Watsons in there, a lot of building plays depending on where zones are pulling. Do you think we might see a few changes in Legends?
Well, we saw, we're almost certainly going to see it, on World's Edge. We only saw one change between Game 1 and Game 2, and that was we saw Ash Esports drop Catalyst and pick up, drop Horizon and pick up Catalyst, actually. Only one change so far. But, in terms of who's been really performing well so far, I think there's definitely been some standouts. And as you can see
Look at
here,
that.
as always, for the longest time, Easy Flash sits on top of the damage standings. And, for as long as we've been making these graphics, Lace,
Yep.
years now, it's like we may as well just leave his his name as default on that sort of middle top position, because he's just always there. And that's why I think when they finally started doing so well and getting the results that backed that up, when they went over as Blackhand Gaming to the championship last year, that was one of the things that felt very vindicating, I think, for us here in APAC South, because I feel like everyone had been watching, had really known how much quality he had as a player, and especially his ability to output damage for a very long time.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see, Lightning Unicorn take out the lead and then having, a player reflect that in the stats and the damage as well. So that they're putting in the work for everything that they're doing in this game and for their team, and probably yelling he's one shot several times. It's good to see Lightning Unicorn reflect the stats, as you would say. But, I remember, Easy Flash, that is pretty much where I've seen that name is from, always having high damage in these games. I'm getting used to all the players and understanding everything, but I'm like, I swear I've seen that name before, and we can definitely tell why. It's an implemented graphic. And as we have match 3 on Storm Point. This is our final match for Storm Point. Let's go.
All right, straight back into it. We've had a north to south dropship here, which means, of course, DNZ and KPG are straight into it now. Once again, DNZ landing on the higher part of Lightning Rod, and then KPG essentially regrouping either in the building to the south of Lightning Rod, or sometimes even going further down to Thunderwatch. But this worked out for them last time, so... no, looks like they actually want to loot a little bit further, because DNZ not chasing them quite as hard this time, Dax.
If they do have some guns to work with, KPG does hold their own. You mentioned it, DNZ just hanging back for the time being. We saw a while ago they're willing to cross that bridge. Not this time around. DNZ going to be a little bit more careful compared to last time, just because they were out early on. They know the firepower that KAKKOII Gaming has. They know they have a little bit of a rivalry from the off-season with them. So play it safe, play it sound. You can see the ring, though. It's already towards the north center part of the map. You can see that north pad, the wall, parts of it. It's going to be interesting for teams like Godhand, WMFireBird, and outside for now how they're going to play things.
Yeah, and Godhand are all over that, right? Now that the IMC is gone, or, well, it's still there, but, it's not in its sort of
kind of broken
vault potential that it used to have. So you're not seeing teams land there, which means Godhand get that all to themselves now. Exactly. So it's actually quite open, Godhand. That's going to be quite a boon for them, as well as outside, who are just rotating very quickly in through the wall. As we saw there, Serenity, we've had word that they are going to be a duo for all of today, which is a little bit sad, actually, because they had been performing reasonably well. Jesco, I would say, one of the best sort of up-and-coming, if you've got someone to try and keep your eye on as the next big thing. He could be it, honestly. Puts out some serious damages, and is a very, very strong player that I'm keeping my eye on for sure. Akuma going to be flying in now towards the chokes. Will they take up position. They do have the ring knowledge. They have been beaten to the buildings in front of them by Overlooked Entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. That Overlook already in position outside, also in the 3R just in front of them. So Akuma will need to just rely on the single building in front of them, smoking their way through, get a little bit of a cover. On the other hand, Legends Gaming, he already Trident in, so ready to hyper rotate if ever. Legends Gaming watching out also for anyone nearby. Bearclaw, Ash instead meeting each other nearby too. So everyone rotating the same way that Akuma did here, Genome, but they're gonna be surprised by the lack of space they can use from that point on. And Bearclaw's already catching one target in front of them.
Oh man, Belkin straight into Beast of the Hunt. This guy is not stopping today. I'm trying to think, actually, was he on that? I was so busy, like, you know, giving some love to Easy Flash there. I actually kind of forgot to look at second and third, I'm not going to lie. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was on that top 3 damage graphic.
Easy? It's probably in the top 10. I think it was one from Lightning Unicorn and one from Boogie Borders. There were 2 people in that last game that did get 2k damage anyway. One being Easy Flash, of course. And so for now, Bearclaw Gaming, they wanted to go for the hunt, but Ash Esports gets away for the time being. They're going to see WMFireBird, though, across them, who are resetting for now. So Ash, they're given a chance to get a building for themselves, and this will allow them to barricade with that Catalyst in tow now.
Okay. Pulling up further. KAKKOII getting a little bit caught off guard here. Now the walls start to go up. They realize where the threat is coming from. It's behind, and Kisan actually hits a decent spray with the R301, but it's not necessarily enough here.
Yeah, Laheem has a good spot for the time being. Leads to a 2v2 at least, but Laheem double time is popped. There's a damage as well, and I'm still watching for Bearclaw, especially Belkin. He has red armor. Scan with the eyes of the All-Father. Behind them, Kill Devil also becoming a threat, so third party already nearby. KAKKOII though holding their own. It's Bearclaw Gaming in trouble. Belkin has to get away from the hunt and get the heck out of here instead, as Kill Devil is giving chase to them.
Oh, Belkin maybe too interested in getting those frags in early there. He's gonna have to hightail it there. He's actually running hammer points on the Mozambique, by the way. So you know, would have been cool to see that pop up in the fight, but maybe next time.
Pass out to Still Devil, and now have at least that part of the map to themselves. KAKKOII actually getting the reset too, so happy to still play around that spider's nest and lift to get the high ground. They're poking from above. This already cracks the armor of one, and KAKKOII with a solid perch to work with. This is beautiful stuff from Kissans and the rest. They force the Dark Veil out. Kill Devil will need to disengage from here.
Yeah, Kill Devil, I think they've successfully managed to find their way out of that one. Had to burn 2 out of the 3 ultimates there to make it happen, but I think that is definitely a fair price to pay for their lives. Belkin having to move further out as he sees Kill Devil get a little bit closer to him, and then as we move over to where this game's more likely to end, I would say, over in the trenches, we can see Ash actually find themselves in a pretty decent position for once. So, you know, a team that we're seeing very often on the outer, a team that stays all the way outside crafting for a very long time. For once, has changed that up, and this time they're going to go for a bit more of a zone effort.
Yeah, they're shifting their playstyle. You mentioned a while ago that swap from one legend to the Catalyst, right? And besides that, you got Divine here, that Dark Veil used up by them. Instead, Ash Esports takes cover on the opposite end of it.
Yeah, here we go. You can see DreamFire, one of the teams, doing that this time. And having a look at the team comps we've got going on today, you can see up the top there, the most picked composition was actually Conduit, Catalyst, and Bangalore. But there's a good spread, Dax. You know, it's not... that was, what was it, 20% or something, I think? Versus sometimes we've seen compositions, especially, you know, when Catalyst was meta, we saw up to 60% of picks going just into one composition previously. So sitting at, you know, 20-15-15, that's actually I would say a very nice spread to have.
Yeah, Yeah, Meta is looking very healthy here, but keep going gaming already now. It's taking the fight towards Kill Devil. Bearclaw Gaming, the lone member of Belkin, watching all this and poking from above. PGG. Nobody can actually eliminate one here. Ash Esports also gone flushed out by Divine, I believe. And while that happens towards the trenches, it's Legends Gaming taking that position, but they're still watching here by the wall. Keep going gaming, becoming the barricade. Keep Kill Devil away. NoCredit and Serenity also watching from nearby, but Bible here with a 30-30. At least trying to go for a few pot shots, and this is what I was talking about. Legends now in position towards Divine.
Yeah, Belkin was just kind of creeping up behind them, thinking maybe he can get the 1v1 against Levy there. You know, just be rat be rat. But at some point, you'll probably have to go through KPG, which is going to be tough. That said, with the ring shifting north now, Legends Gaming are in a decent spot here as they hold down the tunnels. You know, notably keeping a similar playstyle from Champs that really worked for them with that double controller composition, playing Catalyst and Watson. That means when they do get position in the ring, they are very hard to deal with, and we saw that over at the Pylon game.
Yeah, as soon as they get that Watson setup right, they're already in position. It does beg the question, though, how do they finish off some of the more outer rings, which does become a problem to them from time to time. We'll see if that becomes a problem now, and we're still watching Keep Going Gaming. Looting now, still watching out for Kill Devil and Bearclaw, but NoCredit is the ultimate gatekeeper here. They have the gate set up with the Watson. Thinking about the Pylon as well, and as of right now, everyone here by the wall will be in trouble as soon as this ring forces them away.
Yeah, so KAKKOII just playing a little bit of gatekeeping. That's what these two chokes just outside of Cascade Falls are very, very good for. You know, repelling. Who was that at the start? They took out
Bearclaw.
Oh, Belkin's team. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Bearclaw got the two there at least. And then as this next ring pulls in, yeah, they'll probably. You can see they're already pinging some positions further inside, and they'll probably be pulling up around where WMFireBird are, as a couple of teams still fighting it out World War II style down here. AGL have actually got it down here onto DreamFire.
That's a little bit more startled with that. You know, DreamFire's the one in trouble. AGL coming from above, and QQ ready to throw the arc sights and throw DreamFire away. DreamFire's gone yet again, and the struggles continue for such a story team.
Oh my god, they mopped them up in absolutely no time. That was great work from our observers there, getting that vision of the horizon coming down with the arc stars to clean them up. See ya later. DreamFire barely even knew what hit them there, and AGL, instead of going further in, they're gonna you know, just take their time, look if there's anyone else around the edge that they can pick up.
Yeah, AGL seems like their game plan in Stormpoint a lot more sound compared to last year. Just having a better stable location to drop in. Cenote Cave, rotating that direction, moving into pounding teams like DreamFire. It works for them, but Belkin, the only one still here. He's taken down Kill Devil, and Belkin refuses to lose here. Beast of the Hunt to get a bit of that movement speed as the ring is taking its toll on him. Keep going on the south side, though. NoCredit will be waiting for Belkin to come their way, but Belkin has done the damage already.
Well, he's got the gold armor, so it makes it a little bit easier to live during Ring 3, because you can see with the 12 syringes he's got, yeah, it's just, you know, you're not having to constantly pop med kits. You can kind of do that. All right, as we see where the ring is shifting, it's continued to go north, not nearly as tricky as the one down near the Pylon, and that means that outside, who I believe started at the wall, have great position up inside the oranges there. SWQ, once again, have found good position as a duo, but they really need to get there with their full teams if they don't want to get those positions taken off them.
It's just so easy for them to get steamrolled later on if they're spotted. I was thinking a while ago, maybe this ring is gonna go into the waters, and ironic, isn't it? Outside, inside the best spot so far. Legends Divine, AGL, gonna start barreling down from that southwest corner very, very soon. And speaking of SWQ, you mentioned it, Genome. AGL now, they know they have that thumbs advantage, looking for a better spot, but instead of pushing, they're actually gonna back on away, afraid to get third party. Legends Gaming, though, they're the ones first advancing and moving into the oranges here.
They've identified this as a fantastic spot to be at the end of the game, and Outside have got their work cut out for them if they want to take on Legends. They pop up to the wall. They haven't taken the bottom door. That's already an issue because it means Legends are straight into this. Meanwhile, DNZ also into a fight over here in the trenches against Godhand.
God Hand here will be felled, but right beside him, it's Divine ready to pounce on DNZ. Golden Papa getting their armor back though, and gives them a chance to reset. While this happens, AGL also nearby as Legends Outside still have their scuffle within the next ring. Rolling Thunder is the go, and it's the signal for DNZ to get over to the opposite end of the trenches. It's still danger though. Smoke's in the way. Joker using a little bit of cover for now. But the ring is right beside them. Keep Going's also gone for the time being. The NC, they get a little bit of slice of trenches. Hold their home. Nades are coming their way too. Boogie Borders next on the list. No, instead, they do fight. They go against KAKKOII, who survives against them. And Boogie Borders is gone.
Yeah, solid game now for KAKKOII. Beating off two very tough teams there and continuing their march towards this end zone. Boogie Borders again struggling to pick up any of those placement points.
AGL is also gone, and who's gonna be next? It's TNC as WMFB rising like a phoenix and rising to the occasion. They want to continue on towards Divine. SWQ though,
oh my god,
outlook on this. Two is still ready to try and fight. Shady already low, Wayorn watching out for that southern quadrant, but Divine is pinched and SWQ decides to bail out. They've done the damage they needed to allow WMFB to get the advantage with the aggression, and Shark's the one on the prowl, forcing Divine to get the hell out of there for the time being.
Yeah, they actually fall back into the spot they were not too long ago, so they get completely caught off guard there. They're not expecting SWQ to push up. They got like a 120 beam on the back of Divine there as they pulled up, as they were just really not expecting that, and that meant WMFireBird were coming straight in. The fact that they get out with all three of their members, honestly, a very good result there for Divine. That looks like it could have been disastrous for them.
And I just want to point out some significant rats right now. Bearclaw Gaming, Belkin with that gold already mentioned, using those syringes to go all the way to the north and head back down south. So he's still alive and running around with the ring. You also have Lightning Unicorn with Jacute, the only one actually popping that Valkyrie ult. Guide or dive, find a better spot. KAKKOII though, the gatekeepers now flying on away. WFB getting consumed by the ring and clashing against any close target. Divine and Akuma facing off by the house on the south side. Outside still, Kraber in hand, cracks the shield of one. While this happens, it's Pricey already down. Wayorn also removed from the equation, and Divine, their intervention, well, this might be the trouble for them. They're eliminated here. Akuma now versus WFB, the Dark Veil in front of them, and here comes LK, but down goes WFB. It's not enough versus Akuma.
No, look, way too easy. Akuma and WMFireBird were on either side of Divine there. There was almost no way. You know, the Catalyst Wall doesn't have... it can only block one side. It can't block two at once. And once that kind of happened, it was pretty much done for Divine. That said, will they get set up in time? I don't know. SWQ, once again, just being a menace to all of these other teams. This time, Akuma don't pay the price for it.
Yeah, Akuma's been doing so well. 3 squads in front of them, and 3 go down. Not only that, they're able to bring Lima back to life, and this allows them to reset themselves away from all the potential actions. So 7 squads remaining. They also have the single rat there of Bearclaw. Rolling Thunder now a go. Legends Gaming, you know, outside is just nearby. NoCredit, Lightning Unicorn also within the same orange by this point. As the Wolsang moves out, just pop the smoke. That covers at the very least outside, scouting around this location. Wolsang though with his own fight here to deal with.
Oh no!
Might be in trouble. Cover is still, black holes there, and Mexius will confirm that down. There's so many crisscross wires here on the high ground. This is the only safe spot for outside to work with.
Yeah, feels like outside got their team communication crossed up a bit there, unfortunately, and 2 of them might be able to make it into the next circle, but honestly, I'm feeling like this is a bit of a tough one. I'm looking at more so teams like KAKKOII, who have successfully rotated to the west side of the circle and have a nice little rock to themselves, starting to set up over there. I think they're in a great spot. Legends are going to move out near Akuma. As you can see, that top side of the circle right now is just carnage.
And Lightning Unicorns is already gone. Legends Gaming though still clashing against Akuma as outside does find the last member of Bearclaw. Akuma falls and Legends Gaming now is ready to go for more. Dealing with any close contact. KAKKOII trying to poke at the 3 spots. Now left strafing flame down to the floor. And it's KAKKOII still with a better spot. NoCredit's gone too. Legends Gaming. Will this be the end of this map's legacy? As outside is on the outskirts poking with the 30-30. The dance, it's not enough. Goodbye to Player K. Goodbye to Easy Flash. And it's hello to KAKKOII having the better spot. Outside's gonna be in trouble. KAKKOII, they played ultimate gatekeeper all throughout this game. And they're ready to consume another target. It's victory for KAKKOII at our last Stormport map of the day.
Oh, man. Easy Flash was putting himself on the highlight reel there. That guy like ducking into the storm just to get the red armor swap quickly, coming back out, pulling out the scout, dominating. But unfortunately, as soon as the ring removed his cover, that was kind of it, and it was a third spot for them. But KAKKOII taking out the dub there. I mean, they looked good right from the start, Lace. When we saw them taking those initial fights against Bearclaw Gaming, you were like, oh, okay, these guys kind of turned up today. And by the end, you'd seen exactly the fruits of their labor.
That's exactly right. You know, we had Bearclaw Gaming taking out the first win, and then Lightning Unicorn taking out the first win in our second match, and now KAKKOII, you know, a lot of unsuspecting teams sort of taking out the victory, but it's excellent to see, you know, these teams rising to fame in Split 1. Gino, take us to your favorite moment in the chaotic recap.
Oh, I mean, geez, that arc star we just saw from QQ would have to be one of them. That was absolutely nuts. So much damage with that one grenade there. But yeah, look, the pop-off from Easy Flash at the end was also pretty good. By the way, outside finished second with 0 kills.
Oh, that's excellent. But yeah, you can see KAKKOII here. They just had so much space. And all the other teams there. And of course, you know, we love the dancing that we had from our MNK teams. What can you do when you're sort of crossing across that sort of water there when KAKKOII's on your tail? And then look, you know, 8 kills for KAKKOII placing in first there. And then, yeah, outside rising from the bottom ranks up to the top there, which is awesome to see. And I think we've seen Legend Gaming's up the top there, G-Gnome. So they're sort of consistent.
Yeah, and that's honestly, I think that's the mark of a great team, right? When you look back at teams who have won APAC South as a region before, they don't necessarily have to win every single game, right? But they're always putting in a couple of points here and there, a couple of KP, a couple of placement points, just always creeping up. Because if you can average, you know, let's say 10 points a game, like, you're going to win lobbies. If you can average, say, 6 points a game, you're always going to be up there around the top. So that's why they're sitting currently in second spot now with 32 points. But Lightning Unicorn, obviously, with a first and then a second, I think it was, on Storm Point. That'll put them on the top. And then, yeah, these other names pushing up now, like Bearclaw and KAKKOII, after a nice game 3.
That's it. Well, you don't see too many teams with, you know, a dramatic lead. You know, Lightning Unicorn are out in front there, and then, you know, a third and fourth are sort of tied evenly. You know, Bearclaw Gaming doing great and winning first in our first match of Storm Points. So, you know, only time will tell to see what we will do on our next map, which is World's Edge. But man, that was just an excellent show for everybody. I'm loving seeing these underdog teams. I did see their NoCredit, obviously in the previous match had a fair few kills, and now they're placing, I think they're in the top 10, so they did well in that match as well. So hopefully we can see a little more out of them. You know, I know Savior is a big Watson player, and what's better than having a Watson in World's Edge?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's been fun watching Savior throughout the different metas, I think, because obviously sometimes Watson's been in, sometimes it's been out, and whenever it's in, the team's looking pretty good. You know, shock horror, because he is one of the better users of utility for that legend.
Exactly. I've been IGL'd by Savior before in some ranked matches, and God, you just feel so safe with that man. So I'm really hoping that they can perform at World's Edge. But as we hit halfway, everyone, it's time to get some more snacks and make sure you stretch, and we will see you after the break on World's Edge.
Your
undisputed champions of APAC-South in the ALGS.
Such a good spot here. Provides any much coverage for Popcorn. Bradley kicks down and out already. Critical strike there.
About to go down. 1v1. 1v1.
What? Well, Shady finds the target.
That's going to be a punishing blow.
Tree is covered. Fly high to Senpai. The wraparound is perfect.
What? No! Look to overextend. So does Kashira.
Does get spotted out. The pins go down.
Oh my God! The 360! What a beast!
Surprise.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're ready to go as we hit halfway through our Match 1, Split 1 APAC-South Pro League. Our region consists of, teams from Australia, Thailand, Singapore, and more. We've just had our first 3 games, and they've been action-packed. Dax, do you still have the passion and energy to take on another 3 games?
Of course, Lace. I am so excited for even more to come. And truthfully, this was the cast that I've been very hyped up for the year. I cannot believe we're already done with Stormpoint, seeing 3 maps go by that quickly. Yes, the games are a little bit shorter, but it really just goes to show when the action starts in APAC-S, it gets really, really hot, especially near the end.
Yeah, exactly right. And, we chatted a little bit about legend comps and what we would see on World's Edge. Are there any sort of legend comps that you're keen to see? I'm keen for the Watson fences everywhere on this map, but anything that you can touch on?
I mean, I always look at World's Edge and say, still are gonna need that Bangalore for the smokes. I do feel like that Conduit Catalyst combo has paid dividends for many of these teams. I think really the most interesting thing we've seen so far is Lightning Unicorn having no Bangalore in their roster. Maybe though a team like AGL can't go for a Mad Maggie, something like they did last year. We'll find out soon.
Exactly right. And, we love numbers here, and the best numbers is the prize pool. So we've hit double the prize pool from a previous year because we've had such exceptional teams basically take off and give us double the money. So we're looking at 125,000 spread amongst a couple of teams. So, 20,000 for first, 15,000 for second. This is exciting stuff for our region. We're sending through a few more teams as well this year. So Dax, are you just itching to see this region perform?
What do you mean? They've already been performing for the past few years. It just is their big payday, I feel, here for APAC-S. It really shows all the work and all the efforts these teams have put to put themselves as major region status. It has finally come to pass here in year 4, and I expect bigger and better things moving forward. There's always that question every single year, who will fill the power vacuum left behind when Dark Zero moved, and now when Moist Esports has moved. It really still is these teams ready to take that crown and ready to take the region to another whole level.
Exactly. We seem to lose all these teams to America, right? So, we've got to just keep replacing them. And from the matches that we've watched, I reckon we could see some people live up to Moist and Dark Zero's expectations. We have a couple of controller players that you could say are got to be in line with Gen Bird. Maybe not, but it could be a stretch. But you know what? They used to verse him, so they know exactly what they're doing. But I just want to quickly recap on the points. If you're just joining halfway through, how does this all work? What are we looking at? These are the points. So basically, you're awarded 12 points for first place. Rotating and getting that position means ample amounts of points. 9 points for second place. And of course, 1 point for each kill.
Yeah, and of course, we're going to have those series points later on to see who's going to be bringing those points to the final tally and get those spots. And of course, the bonus points are up for grabs. From what we've seen, though, Stormpoint has had an individual winner each map. So if those teams want to get those bonus points, they're going to need to win at least 2 out of the 3 World's Edge maps. If it's anyone else, they're going to have to win all the World's Edge maps along the way. But beyond that, it's still your old system from before. Those 12 points for getting that first place, really such a boon. But you can be that kind of team that just goes for KP instead.
Exactly right. There hasn't been many teams that we've sort of touched on that have, gathered these bonus points. It's a fair few in between. And, we've had a few wins from teams quite evenly. So we may not see it, but who knows? World's Edge is coming up. This might be a dominating map for some teams. It's crazy to see, obviously the team compositions and the way that players play on this map. World's Edge is OG, right, Dax? So we've all played it. We're all aware of it. They've added a couple of new POIs into the maps and a few changes in and amongst that as well. We're obviously going to have a look at drop spots. Any contests on World's Edge you're excited for?
I mean, it's just that electric boogaloo of DNZ and KPG doing it yet again, this time around on Harvester. So whatever we saw in that last map, they still have a point to prove here. I think, though, some of the big spots to really watch out for is with the departure of Moist Esports, Lava Siphon is wide open for the region. And of course, who takes it? It's the next contender to that crown, Legends Gaming, ready for that prime spot.
Exactly right. And we're going to figure out how it all happens right now. Match 3 on World's Edge. This is APAC-South Pro League.
We only have one group for today, ladies and gents, and it's A versus B. We're halfway done, halfway left, and we swapped the map over to World's Edge. Welcome back if you are just tuning on in here at Longshot. Both of you also available for you, and of course, the incredible Gino with me still.
What up, Dax? Back straight into the action. We've got DNZ and KPG going right at it in the middle of half. So we've even got a Revenant in the middle of all this. Immediately going for the res here because they've got a 2v1 advantage. And it looks like KH from KPG is already making his way out of Harvester, potentially leaving his teammates for dead at this point. How on earth is Joker flying in? Oh, did he? He must have got the balloon. Okay. Trying to work out what was going on there. I was like, he can't have his ultimate up already. As the Valkyrie.
It's like, already?
Anyway. Yeah. Oh, wait, have they just... Oh, no! They turned around and they actually saw KH. He was just sitting underneath the railings. And somehow they turned around and just with eagle eyes spotted him to get the last kill. Okay, so... I mean, we're actually seeing this more and more, right, Dax? The double contest. And we can talk about that in a little bit because it looks like WMFireBird are trying to close the net in onto Akuma.
I mean, Akuma's still around too, and Akuma might be in trouble. WMFB, they're pushing towards the trains, and this could be a potential wipe coming their way. Akuma's gone immediately, and 2 squads from the get-go removed from World's Edge.
Yeah, well, we saw there was a bit of an interesting one there, where it was like Akuma and WMFireBird had both said staging. You also had the Mirage Trois, but it looks like WMFireBird were trying to take that as well, but you can't really contest Mirage Trois while, you're also contesting staging, so that means Boogie Boarders up at Lava Fissure do get that one all to themselves. Anyway, WMFireBird, nice work there, kind of corralling all of Akuma into that little train car, and then just dealing with them from there. We've got Legends Gaming, very much already set up in the top of launch site here. So you can see player K. It's already got the fences going. Behind them, you've got Overlooked Entertainment sitting further down because, of course, the ring is pulling very much down here to launch site, not even to dome. So people like Kill Devil sitting over there will probably just do a little bit more crafting. And more teams, I think, are going to start pulling up here. Even like beyond, we're not even seeing teams read this as a lava siphon sort of ring. They are going further down. They're going to be pushing all the way into launch site and the surrounds. Honestly, I feel like these are some fun zones. I mean, there's even been some memorable ones here. Like if you think about Moist Esports taking out one of the splits last year, the regional finals, they had their dub at the back of launch site to finish off that 3-game run. So look, no longer here with us, put up the candles in chat for Moist Esports, but one day they'll meet again at LAN, I guess.
Oh wait, I just made it sound too. Sounds sad too. Yeah, but anyway, where are we in the occasion? Seems like we're watching Entertainment still in position here. Launch site, of course, always going to be a melting pot of different teams coming together. You got SWQ on one side, you got Legends Gaming, as you mentioned, on the north side, you got God Hand around as well. And it does feel like these teams rotating early, already looking for the next ring to work with.
Yeah, certainly. It looks like it is another zone-heavy ring here where teams are pulling up. As you said, Legends Gaming have got a very good spot in here. Easy flash. He's got the 2x4, which is going to allow him plenty of work. Only 220 ammo for the Scout, which isn't like a massive amount considering it is all the way at the start of the game right now, but who knows, maybe they'll get some loot box donations at some point.
Yeah, it's just all about the south side, but in any case, These teams playing onto launch site, happy to just snipe as much as they can. DNC, you can see they still run that Valkyrie alongside the Horizon, as well as that Conduit, Bulin from afar. And perhaps here we're going to see more of these teams forego the Bangalore for something a little bit different. Beyond that, they're just hanging all around, clashing with Ash Esports and sticking around Lava Siphon for the time being.
Now, duo Serenity, as you can see here, just chilling around the Vault Tunnel. And it's been a little bit tough for these guys today. I mean, I guess it's not as much of a death knell as it used to be, because when you had 5 slots to go to land, you essentially needed to place well every single day, right? But of course, with that upgrade to major region status now for APAC South, we do get 8 slots. That means it is a little bit easier to qualify. We're going to have 3 extra teams that'll drop the amount of points you need, the split points you need throughout the season by, I'll have to go back and check, but maybe around 20. I'm just going to chuck that out there as a guess. And that means, you know, that's almost like 1 full day of winning, right? So,
yeah.
You know, maybe it's not done and dusted just now for Serenity, but it is a little bit of a shame that they couldn't get that 3rd in for today.
Yeah, it gets tough, right? When some of these points stack up and you're going to be regretting. Maybe we had our full squad from that first day. We could have gotten more league points and we could actually get into the LAN immediately. But we'll cause that project, or rather, we'll talk about that program for another day. Got DreamFire still already in trouble. Pizza immediately going to get sniped from afar, and DreamFire really hasn't found their footing whatsoever. DNC keeping an eye out. We're watching Lightning Unicorn as well, sticking around with the same comp that they had from Storm Point. So what has been working for Lightning Unicorn. They're trying to change a little bit of the meta comps here.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you bring that up. You know, obviously we were talking about teams probably changing compositions going into World's Edge. We've had, I believe, 9 teams change their compositions as we've switched over. Some teams like DNZ have moved over from, you know, the very aggressive Bang Bloodhound Horizon. They're playing Valkyrie Horizon Conduit. There's, of course, some reasons for that. They're contesting at Harvester. The contest specifically at Harvester, Horizon extremely strong in that one, so they had to keep on with that legend, especially, you know, you generally... you have people fly down the bottom, and then you want to use that gravity lift to pop back up into the middle room is one of the strategies they can pull out. But then also switching over to Conduit, because of course now that we're seeing that, again, that double contest that we just touched on briefly before, where teams are like, if you're not going to leave me alone on my POI on this map, we're going to contest you on both maps now. We're going to make your entire life more difficult if you're not going to give this up for us.
And it gives them a level of confidence that they can actually take that fight. Talking about comp still, I do want to mention with the Conduit and the Catalyst, many teams who we've seen love to play the zone early on, like the teams we have here on Lodge site. This is going to be the perfect spot for them. Barricades on one side, and then just the pokes into the radiant transfers on the other. And this staging ground of launch site will just be all about topping up those shields with the Conduit, keeping everything contained with the Catalyst. And when they need to move with Dark Veil, that's going to be their call to action.
Yep, here we're getting a great view of not only the ring, but also those legend changes. The eagle-eyed among you might have noticed the SWQ have changed up their composition as well, going for Wraith Crypto Watson. A unique one among the 20 teams that we have here. So yeah, fun to see teams bringing out new stuff. Kill Devil also trying to pick up that Crypto. A couple of them in the lobby, which does make a little bit of sense. It provides a lot of counterplay when you're trying to push into heavily contested spots, as we've seen happen a lot today, as the teams have been a little bit more conservative than in previous times in APAC South. The Crypto does give you the chance to just insta-clear all of that Watson utility if you need to push an area.
Yeah, it's a level of future-proofing for some of these crypto teams, just because they know other squads who love to play the Watson, as you mentioned, or even more shift into that controller meta. Then they can just pop that EMP and get that opening. Also, we've noticed a few more Valkyries into play, perhaps less confidence with the utility. Go for another Skyward Side if they need to rotate, if ever. Watching Divine now, though, on the outskirts yet again. Looking all around, playing the smoke, actually getting inside the ring through the dome area. So they're gonna go for the long rotation, but they might end up where Kill Devil is at, and Bearclaw Gaming is hounding their tracks here.
Yeah, Kill Devil and Bearclaw, as you say, kind of mirroring them. But when you're getting mirrored by a team who's inside the ring, sometimes it doesn't end up that well for you. That's all I'm saying. You can see medkits obviously being popped now for Divine as they make their way around. And this is going to be a tough one to get inside, honestly. I mean, Heck at least seems to have swapped back. Oh, he's picked up the Rampart longbow with the Digithreat 4x10. So he's definitely got some range on here. KAKKOII, winners of our last game. Certainly won one game at least today. They're pulling up towards the north. They're trying to hold off AGL, who are about to get crunched between them and NoCredit.
Yeah, we're watching NoCredit actually take down one from AGL. High ground from Nexus. The Nemesis shots are fully charged, and the damage is being done by NoCredit along the way. AGL, we watch them usually perform well on World's Edge. They're one of the first teams kicked out now.
Okay, so NoCredit trying to do some damage over here. KAKKOII not really wanting any of it. They're gonna back off. We finally did see Divine get inside the ring. They ran into Kill Devil in the end. It wasn't Bearclaw Gaming that they found their way to, and they have actually managed to stabilize just a little bit, but they've had to use their catwall to do so. Shady goes down. Kill Devil rolling up now in and over it with that gravity ledge.
Yeah, Kill Devil was prepared all along the way, but right behind them, it's still Overclock, as well as Bearclaw Gaming decided to play third party from both sides. So Divine's gone, and it might be Kill Devil next with the kill contract. Spikes are out, Dark Void's there for the wall, but Bearclaw Gaming is looking around for any other target. Rudena's there nearby. Seems like Overlook will also disengage with a single member backing on away. So Kill Devil, they survive with the Catalyst. They can bring Luahan back to the ground, as KAKKOII's also gone along the way, losing the fight all the way on the northeast versus NoCredit.
Man, I don't know what the hell VCU was doing there. He kind of just gave it as a wild card and may have actually saved Kill Devil because they were so confused as to how there were extra members there still alive. Burn the catwall to get out, and oh man, that was an interesting decision. Manages to keep his life and a good spot at the back of launch site though, so that could work out in the end for them. But Boogie Borders, once again in a rough spot. I'm not sure they've managed to make it past like 10th so far in the placements. So Boogie Borders really having not the best start over on Storm Point. Let's see if World's Edge, where they started Lava Fisher and Mirage Etoile, can change their fortunes.
I mean, they had that one top 3 game back in Storm Point, but beyond that, you can see that there have been struggles for Boogie Borders. They also have an EVA tower to utilize. DreamFire, the team right in front of them alongside Ash Esports, but the ring's pulling now towards SWQ and the building that they gambled on. So Legends Gaming, Lightning Unicorn, those two squads will look to pinch if ever. And the duo of Serenity, they're still alive and kicking here, Genome, so they're moving underneath Lightning Unicorn's location.
Yeah, they had a sort of little Valcult in to try and get themselves here. They changed up their comp here just to make some of those Hail Mary plays and try and squeak out a couple of placement points. Might serve them well. We'll have to wait and see on that one. DNZ up the top, as you said, outside. Ash looking at them, and then DreamFire just below them near the Caravan. Actually starting to push up on this.
Ash has been waiting for this moment. Yase setting up Star Point as well. Kill Devil's already going to be gone near the southeast side. But we're watching DreamFire fight for their lives. 3MC and Pitty very low already on the HP. And that's already DreamFire losing out in this fight. DNZ go for the push, breaking the energy barricades along the way. Can Papa find one more target as DreamFire try to evacuate? WMFireBird, they are gone. DNZ looking to mop up these kills, get those points up on the board. And does feel like for DreamFire, they're survived with one. Same case for Ash Esports here.
Considering there was only 2 of them left, that was the perfect situation for DreamFire. Otherwise, they were looking at a very hard gatekeep there. They come out at just the right time. Roy, I mean, his Catalyst had helped him out with the Caravan earlier, so he had a safe place to rest and recuperate. But now he comes out and he's going to try and take on these other 2. The kill gets stolen away from him, trying to escape now, using both sides of this wall just to help him out. The beams come out. He's contending with this other team as well as the ring at the same time. And he actually manages to stay alive longer than DNZ does, but it's not for that long, as we do see Legends Gaming, who have been watching and waiting come to finish off any of those squads just lagging behind them.
After everything is said and done, no one survives from Lava Siphon, and Legends Gaming, they're prepared now to go for their own kind of push. We still have NoCredit nearby though, watching outside also on the low ground, keeping away from Bearclaw Gaming. Pylon breaking a few of those nades to well sense, also popping those smokes, but Legends Gaming has a good angle. Easy flash, ready to go for the clash. He still has so many scout bullets to work with. We're waiting for him to get that red armor online. Cracking those shields down again. Big damage! And what a shot from Easy Flash from afar! But while this happens, Legends Gaming, they need to contend with one more squad dropping on them. NoCredit tried to find their own juice here. Legends Gaming's with Easy Flash moving on the round, but it's not enough. Pylons again, the fence is nearby. Strafing plane trying to survive, but that's Legends Gaming gone. NoCredit also booted, and the two squads that fought, they're removed here.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that's something we might see a bit this split, where NoCredit just like essentially ratting down the bottom. They almost, I think they were waiting until they heard maybe, you know, a bat go off or a reload happen. They pop that gravity lift and just cause immediate chaos on top of Legends. They still don't win the fight, but they caused the death of Legends Gaming. And man, I feel like there's just gonna be a lot of teams cursing them if they're trying to pull off those kind of plays this split.
Just an incredible moment there from NoCredit, and it actually saves the bacon of the teams on the south side. Bearclaw Gaming though taking advantage of the situation. You got Godhand also nearby, and SWQ still sitting pretty after mopping up everyone who fought towards the northern side here of launch site. I think Unicorn though, they have a good spot, and they notice Boogie Borders down towards the northwest here.
Yeah, so they've got the bridge to play by, and Boogie Borders actually have a lot of the zone to themselves, but as you noted, they don't have the high ground quite just yet. They're actually trying to climb up now that they're getting a little bit closer, and if they can contend and not take too much damage from LU on their right-hand side, then Boogie Borders finally may be able to make a late charge in this series.
And Lalabang does some incredible damage there with the frag. He also has the EMP to work with if ever. Godhand though, staying on the low ground. Kraber here for the bang of Draco. This has been looking very exciting if Godhand can hit a nutty shot. Bearclaw though removed now. 4 squads left in this fight, and if not Lightning Unicorn, it's SWQ in prime real estate. It's gonna be trouble for Godhand and Boogie Borders as soon as this ring starts closing down.
Boogie Borders, I love their spot. LU are a threat, as we said, though. SWQ, 2 reds and a blue are looking okay, and then Godhand below. I mean, look, they've got some placement points here, and they've got a Kraber. But apart from that, I think it's going to be a tough effort from this position. So let's see how it plays out with the last 4 teams. All of them fully prepped and ready to go with the 3 members alive. I think this will make for an exciting and a fun end zone here.
Yeah, I think the concern here for Lightning Unicorn, they don't have any reds whatsoever. Jackute already removed the Kraber, hitting its marker, and it's Lightning Unicorn who's immediately turtling from this spot. They have spotted Boogie Borders, but they can't poke back to try and get those shields upgraded, and that's gonna be trouble here for LU.
Yeah, you can see there wasn't really a way for them to capitalize on that damage, unfortunately. The Kraber does its job of getting those unexpected downs, but you know, they've got no utility. There's no horizon on Godhand. They can't just throw the gravity lift and pop up there directly on it. Nice. There we go with the crypto EMP coming out. That's what we talked about, being able to destroy all of that annoying Watson utility. But we have Godhand going up against LU.
Yeah, LU's gonna go for the push. Godhand is a team that wants to play inside, but outside they're a target, and they're now out of the server. 3 left. Lightning Unicorn on the low ground, banking on Boogie Borders and SWQ finding each other first.
SWQ, they've got the doors barricaded. Catalyst coming in handy here. Will we have enough grenades left to deal with that. You see some coming through doors, even fences getting placed to try and help eliminate those doors, as well as SWQ just want to turtle as long as possible. LU, they won the battle down the bottom, but I don't know if that's going to help them. How do they get back up? Once again, no horizon. They're trying to pop an evac tower. Boogie boarders are going to see this. Will they have the damage to take it down, or will they be able to focus people off it immediately?
I mean, we saw Raki already poke at one down a target, but here we go again. EMP gonna be online, and SWQ will decide to take the fight on the outside. Lightning Unicorn is hurting, bleeding. Raki's creeping the rush, doing the damage that needs to be done, yes, but it's Boogie Boarders now looking to find any more targets. Boogie Boarders just surfing against the competition. It's all up to them now to win it all out, and the Boogie Boarders just keep the tides turning in their favor there, Genome. They take the first map of World's Edge.
Oh my god, I don't know if I'd ever seen a creeping barrage do that much damage.
Number 4 of our APAC-South Pro League, where we've got the respect and the talent to prove ourselves against the world. So 30 teams are split into A, B, and C. We're watching A and B compete at the moment. So 20 teams are showing us that even if they're the underdogs, they have the skill to take out, you know, teams like DreamFire and Legends Gaming. Yeah. We've had a few teams really show us that this map matters. Legends Gaming and NoCredit going toe-to-toe there in Ring 4. You really see the confidence come out in a couple of these teams, Gino. What team has impressed you in Game 4 so far?
Well, I mean, look, Boogie Boarders obviously did a very good job there. SWQ, probably a team that, you know, I don't think they've had the most pop-off moments over the last year. So to see them do so well in that end circle was impressive. They played that building very well, but oh my god, you didn't even need guns in that final fight there, Lace. The Creepy Barrage, the Bangalore ultimate did so much damage that Boogie Boarders could have literally pulled out their fists and they would have been fine.
That's it. Work smarter, not harder, Gino. That's what it's all about. But, you know, this is really what the Boogie Boarders needed. They were sitting, you know, comfortably in 4th place, toe-to-toe with BCG. And then as we see, coming over to the World's Edge, the confidence just flows through them. They can just sit back and relax and just really take out this victory. So it is huge for the Boogie Boarders at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. It was a rough storm point for them. As I mentioned going into that, they'd had a couple of games where they barely managed to sort of creep up into the scoreboard, right? I mean, if we think about where they placed, it was 17th in the first game. It was... Oh, it's actually 3rd in match 2. All right, I apparently just wiped that one from my memory. They actually got quite a few points in the second match.
Yeah.
But then they dropped back down again to 13 in that third one. So... it was, this is definitely going to go a long way to helping them get some split points here with those 9 kills.
Exactly. You can see Fussy there putting out, what is that? Is that top damage overall, I think, if I can do my maths quickly and correctly. So, you know, they're really putting in the work, securing like 1st place and 9 kills while sitting in 4th place should bring them up nicely. We still had, Lightning Unicorn do extremely well in that 4th game, which, you know, leads them with 52 points, Gino.
Yeah, so obviously sitting pretty up the top here. Lightning Unicorn, I mean, this is a team that's actually no stranger to winning in APAC South. It's just been a long time, Lace. You know, there were a couple of online tournaments way back before. The format of the ALGS was a little bit different back then. But when there's been tight lobbies, especially ones that have been less aggressive, like we're seeing today, Lightning Unicorn actually have managed to come out on top a couple of times. So this is actually the kind of environment that they thrive in. So not entirely surprised to see them doing well, but on recent form, yeah, it certainly seems to be a little bit of an upgrade for them.
Yeah, exactly right. And, you know, Legend Gaming's are still, you know, we've talked about them. They're still sort of sitting comfortably there. They might need to pull, you know, a rabbit out of a hat just to sort of push themselves forward. But, yeah, we just seen Boogie Boarders sort of place from 4th to 2nd. Lightning Unicorn just out in front by, I think, 3 points, 2 points. But you know what? That's fine. We're gonna jump into a break and see what we can come up with in match 5, World's Edge.
Locked and loaded. Drop shocked and rocked. Say hello to the 401st.
For art.
Get ready for a world of hurt. Kill confirmed. Gonna add you to the list.
Welcome back, Apexes, where the stakes are high, but the prize pool is higher. We've just seen an amazing game from the Boogie Boarders, pushing them into second place, but of course we can't forget about probably the best logo I've seen, by the way, Lightning Unicorn, sitting at the top of the leaderboard. I'm just going to say, it just makes me feel magical, okay? It's just sparkly. You know, we've spoken about map changes. Now let's talk about legend changes. We're obviously going into match 5 here. So what compositions have we seen that's been a little bit different to our Storm Point matches?
Yeah, I mean, we saw Revenant picked up. That was a fun one coming out of Keep Going Gaming. Interesting to see that one picked up for the contest, I guess. Obviously, Revenant is very good in 3v3s, but it's only once you get his ultimate up, right? So if you don't have those shadows active, which obviously you can't get at the start of the game because you're fighting each other like immediately, it's not charged up immediately, I don't know if he's really that great. He's got a big hitbox. I mean, the leap is kind of okay, but like, how does that really help you in a Harvester contest? I'm not sure I'm buying that. It looks like Keep Going Gaming are running the Revenant again, so they're sticking with Horizon, Revenant, Valkyrie for this contest, and DNZ are running Conduit, Horizon, Valkyrie. Like, honestly, that just to me seems like the clearly superior composition, so I wouldn't be surprised to see DNZ take this one out again. That said, KPG, they won that contest over on Stormpoint and surprises.
Yeah, you see a Rev in a game, you know, usually use that for like an aggressive play style. And, you know, when you're looking at coming into Pro League and playing these sorts of things, you know, you don't want to be too aggressive. That could be the end of your days and back to the lobby. So, you know, seeing these things happen and they're sticking with it. Let's see if they can do it in match 5. Let's take it away.
All right, we are back and we're straight into the contest between KPG and DNZ. Bolin has already been fully eliminated. Bible's just on the floor at the moment, Dax.
Yeah, just watching them drop into the center, punching each other for that armor. But DNZ, they have the high ground, ready to recover. Bolin at the moment's notice. Lan bring it down as well. KPG yet again in trouble. It's something we're talking about, playing that Revenant. It does feel like it's a little bit more selfish to keep going gaming, and especially that the Rev is gone. It's all left to KH on the horizon. It's a 2v1. The slide in with a Mozambique of all things, and DNZ make it 2-0 on World's Edge.
Nice for DNZ there, and even just grabbing into the lava. So I think that, look, I'm not gonna lie, it only just occurred to me, it was like, why have we got these two teams playing Valkyrie? Because I think the height advantage is, and that middle room in Harvester is so important, right? So previously, teams have been playing Horizon to get you access to that, obviously with the gravity lift, but I think that's why both teams are going Valkyrie here, is so that you can VTOL jet up to there as well. So you've got multiple players on your team with multiple options of having access and trying to retake that height.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you still have the Horizon anyway for DNZ. You get the general feeling of why you're running Revenant, though. You want the clash early. You also can go for the pounce to get that same kind of height. But in the end, there's just a lot more, I'd say, unity there from DNZ, and it allows them to win out that fight. Beyond the double contest, though, what we've seen throughout this day so far, it seems like our ring gonna be pulling towards, I do believe, the tree as well as thermal station. So keep an eye out for teams like Lightning Unicorn as well as Legends Gaming to already move into some prime spots.
Yeah, one other change up we've seen already is Akuma not contesting staging. So they lose that first one out against WMFireBird, and then it looks like, I believe they started off in launch site. Could have possibly been Dome, but yeah, from the rotation, I think it was launch site there. Either way, you know, one single game can change how you have to play out your entire match there. And as noted, we've got another South Zone, this one potentially pulling a bit more towards tree/thermal station.
Yeah, we see another of these teams always ready for an early fight. WMFireBird ready to shoot from above. A 3x scope on the flat line. It can pack quite a punch here, courtesy of Shark. But the shields are already cracked. Smokes are out as well. Double time proc to allow him to move on in alongside LK God. And eventually, WMFB, they're giving chase to SWQ. Looking to at least to find a spot to fortify. They have Donut ready with the legendary armor, and they're the team running the right, but SWQ hiding onto the inside. WFB still want to get a piece of them.
Alright, nades coming down, try and blow the doors off and get inside. We've got Easy Flash looking from afar on the other side of this, by the way, with the Scout just waiting for any of those two teams to peek their heads out. He will take them off. Okay, drone goes down inside. WMFireBird, piece by piece, are pulling SWQ apart. They're having to actually portal out, well not portal, portal out into the other building. They run straight into them. The Eva almost takes him down, but not quite enough.
There's no escape here for SWQ, and you mentioned that the portal out cannot find any kind of space to work with. And WFB, they have the advantage. SWQ bleeding now. He still got LK roaming around to find any other target. busting through the doors. Now they engage. It's Shark in the front line. The Mastiff bringing in damage versus Crazy Kong. And WFB is looking for the wipe. They confirm the first KP. SWQ losing out with Benny. And Yuling has a single bit of HP to work with here, Genome. Can he survive any longer?
Yeah, legit 1 health there, and manages to get the bat off. But as I said, Easy Flash looking on, and he will grab one of those KP.
Yeah, Legends Gaming, they're uninterrupted this time around with Easy Flash sniping from afar. But you might play spoil sport here. It's KAKKOII coming towards the tunnels instead, so they avoid each other for the time being. Legends Gaming, we've seen them play height very much so in many a map. Back in Storm Point, it was, I do believe, against the same team, right? So overall, they're keeping away from each other.
KAKKOII in the tunnel underneath where we just saw. Looking across to some of that action. Outside, they're on the southernmost thermal station building. They actually popped the UAV there quite early, I would say. I mean, I guess it's going to get more and more congested as time goes on, and you know, maybe they'll be a little bit too scared to pop it then, but I feel like it didn't really give them a lot of information to start with. So interesting timing considering you can only use that same UAV once. Over in thermal station itself, you've got LU here popping out the crypto. NoCredit is just above them. And then you've got Boogie borders all the way down to the southwest village.
Yeah, and not only that, yeah, the crypto who can scout from afar very safely. Lightning Unicorn, they're in a good spot here. They all have purple armor as well. Can poke from the center just if they want to raise their evil shields to the next level. And looking at DreamFire right now, it's been a tough day at the office. You don't see this too often from them being in the bottom 5 with only 11 points. Roy's looking around for any kind of contact point. This time around, though, they're not going to get fended off early. No one's really going to contest them for now. But God Hand, Serenity, they're going to be in their rotation path if ever. So that's where DreamFire really needs to step up to.
Yeah, potentially a tough spot for them. 0 survival items on hand for DreamFire, so they're not going to get any help in that measure. The ring has pulled further towards outside, so that cluster of buildings directly south of thermal station is looking good for now. BCG down in launch site. They're actually nearby to kill Devil, as you can see. I think both teams are very much aware of the other's presence here. Might want to take the fight while it's a little bit cleaner out here on their own. They're sort of sheltered from the rest of the lobby by the mountains surrounding the site.
It's going to be a pure 3v3 basically, and Kill Devil are thinking about it. The problem is their retreat path might get cut by Ash Esports, waiting by Lava Siphon yet again. I guess my concerns right now with the ring is outside, they're usually overrun early, and that's exactly what's happening. Lightning Unicorn moving forward. It's only a single member of outside contesting them, and Lightning Unicorn can fortify the way that they want into this building immediately. Lalabang throwing out the Arc Star as well. There we have the pylon set up, and Lightning Unicorn stakes their claim.
Oh man, a flow got out of that, but only just. That was a risky split hold, and honestly, I don't quite understand why they were trying to do it. I mean, those buildings are so far apart that, yeah, if someone just lands on you, they could easily, like, snap your neck. No problem. Straight away, you don't get a chance. Luckily, a flow was sort of on the other side and saw it early enough, so he gets out, and they take the bigger set of those 2 buildings for themselves. But wow, that was... yeah, I feel like you just don't get a lot of advantage out of playing split in those 2 buildings in this situation, and you're better off, honestly, just setting up in the UAV building.
And that's what they're going to do from this point on. Outside of it, actually, I guess the problem here for outside, they have lesser armor to work with all of their peers nearby. Keeping an eye out on DNC. A little bit of high ground here. Papa poking with the scout. Beautiful shots. Yes, Kill Devil and Ash Esports are nearby, sure. But DNZ, they're just looking for those kind of opportunities like we saw in that last game when they went for the wipe over onto the Lava Siphon side. They also have Bolin throwing out the nade, so eventually DNZ marking their targets, yes, but they're not committing for now.
Using the Grafter as cover for the moment as the Rolling Thunder comes down. Doesn't quite want to hide inside the containers to his back there, just in case that gives the other team an angle. It's Ash Esports looking at them. And then Divine kind of creeping up. They've just rolled out of command in Siphon. Way starting to hit some shots with the Hemlock.
Yeah, they saw the energy barricade also used. Bolin needing to top up those shields as well, and Ash Esports creeping closer and closer to this potential clash, but same can be said by Divine, who are nearby and will be forced to push as the ring is closing down. DNC sees trouble afoot, triple take shots here from BD Lin, trying at least to shatter those shields, but Ash still around the same location. DNZ, there's a lot of work cut up in front of them. But Divine actually disengages, moving towards where DreamFire is instead. DreamFire taking bot shots. Divine is now the ones hurting here.
They think they're playing it smart by going inside the building where they'll have a chance to reset. Can they actually make this work? Pricey gets the syringe off, and I think they actually can reset inside the building. So Divine have just pulled this off. But time and time again, we're seeing Divine make these very late pushes as the ring is on their back, and it's just adding so much pressure to them. They really need to be either finding their way inside earlier or not getting sandwiched between teams, or in this case, getting sandwiched between DreamFire and the ring.
These stations can cause trouble, and DreamFire now is ready to hunt. They know this here. Pricey will be the first to fall. DreamFire has been marking their rotation for quite a while, but 3MZ will be traded. It's up to Roy here to try and clutch this for the team. He's done so before on Lad. Can he do so one more time? The fight back is clear from Divine. DreamFire will be the first to fall here as Ash Esports gets the timing with the shots from the scout, and yet again, DreamFire, they took the fight to another squad and will come out of the lobby because of it.
I mean, a little bit unfortunate. They were the ones on the outside, so when Ash pulled up, they managed to finish off DreamFire, whereas, of course, they couldn't get the bullets inside the building where Divine are now resetting. They got at least 2 of their players alive, but now there's 5 seconds left. The ring's about to start closing, and they've got to go again. Dax, this is so rough for them. I mean, honestly, they would have got wiped out as well, except that D and Z started throwing some bullets over at Ash to stop them pushing in and completing the third party. So now Divine once again running against the ring. Time is running out for these guys. It seems to be the way every single game.
I don't know if Divine's playing Apex or a marathon by this point, but we watch DNC go for the evac tower, and they have to deal with Bearclaw Gaming here by the tree. Scan comes online though, courtesy of Belkan. The Allfather sees everything coming his way, and DNC sticking on around. AGL though having their own kind of clash. It's WMFireBird yet again. This is a team that loves to fight, and AGL is the one hurting. QQ though trading down Azu. QQ, he's fighting for his life, but the ring will consume him. WMFireBird, they're also in trouble. The black hole now. Can they stay alive though? Shark's the only one still standing. It's so dangerous, but while this happens, watch out for Ash, watch out for Pricey and the rest, and we're watching Bearclaw Gaming fight for their lives.
Yeah, meanwhile, the tree is getting splattered with quite a lot of blood right now. As you said, 4, maybe even 5 teams getting into the thick of it here. Overlooked Entertainment seem to be the only ones sort of doing okay, sitting within the safety of their energy barricades underneath the platforms up on top. You've got Bearclaw just trying to sit it out with the 1 member left alive there, and Ash Esports may actually be able to capitalize on this. No, an overstep means Yase goes down. Can they get the better of DNZ now?
Yeah, there's still a challenger. DNC ready to fight. Rokoko, the only one still standing, using these knockdown shields for cover and trying to get the hell out of dodge, but he's in trouble because of those barricades. DNZ eliminated 2 as Godhand is nearby, but next on the chopping block might be Yesh. And yet again, the clash towards the 3 will go in favor of Overlooked Entertainment, who has been watching like hawks and are ready to pounce. One more target, one more show. Here we go. Divine's next on the list as Overlook is ready to bring the clash to them. But we see he's down. God. It's 2v2 as Divine is still alive and kicking those red shields, keeping them topped up. The Mastiff though up close, and Overlook Entertainment, they're using the crate for cover. Divine is still around though. And eventually Overlook trying to get these KPs, looking for the armor swap.
He's gonna die
Red
to the
armor's
ring.
there, but the ring damage is hurting Big Z. It's hurting for a large chunk, and there's no escape for Overlook whatsoever.
Pricey just plays him around, ring around the Rosie there, and manages to get out, letting the ring finish off the kill for him. So finally, Divine comes out on top in a situation, but it's only just barely, Dax, with the one member left alive. I'm not sure he even has time to take this evac before the ring comes in. He's worried about these fences in front of him. There's not actually anybody there. But anyway, plenty of other stuff happening with the other 6 squads left alive in this game. LU have essentially pulled up to Godspot there. That building that we just saw take the Kraber shot, not going to be in the next ring. The building to the west of that LU took off them earlier in the game. Remember, we saw that. That is going to be Godspot where the ring is finishing. That said, Legends Gaming, once again, they're always finding a nice little spot to set up their fences in the pylon. They'll be looking good from the north as well.
And while we see Legends Gaming fortifying their own spot, 2 squads with rats left, they have been eaten by the ring. And while this happens, it seems like Legends Gaming, they're putting the pressure on. Divine, though, in trouble. Pricey, the veteran, called to get the hell out of there, keeping his
Oh my God, that spot
in
by
the top
Raki.
5. But that spot you mentioned, Raki, Boogie Borders, it's so dangerous. They're on the low ground, and he's the only one still standing here for Boogie Borders.
Your boy is going spelunking right now. He is so deep in the rock. Meanwhile, Pricey's just like, hey man, I'm left by myself. I got nothing to lose. And really popping off there with the center. You can see, they know where he is, but Raki's spot is so good that they literally cannot get to him. Hopefully we get a little view of it before he has to roll out, because he will have to push out of that spot in a second. But that is... Man, that is the spot to know. If you're one of those people who doesn't like playing with their squad, look at this. He's covered from like 3 different sides.
Man's gone spelunking, and not only that, I think the ring won't touch him there. Maybe a small adjustment. And Legends Gaming, they know it. They want to hunt them down. Also trying to cut off a potential rotation of the final member of Boogie Borders. Keeping an eye out though for the next building. Lightning Unicorn gonna be their contender, cracking the armor yet again. Easy flash, so good from afar with those kind of shots.
LU in the #1 spot right now, not only in this game, but also in the series overall, looking to extend their lead. We do see Outside take the roof above them. They're going to have the Watson stuff set up there. As you can see, Pricey is now on the other side. Raki and him, we can go shake hands in a second.
Yeah, the Aussies here playing Deep Rock Galactic basically, and they're just holding on the opposite end. Legends Gaming, though, still around on the outskirts. You see Outside, perhaps on the high ground, I believe, of Lightning Unicorn. But while it stands, these rats can stay where the fire is getting hotter and stay alive for at least a little bit more for those placement points. Legends, though, you love the sound for the pylon. Raki, I told you, Genome, he's good for it. The spikes! Oh man, the spikes. They're just making it hard for him to get out.
Yeah, you can even see Pricey's banner in the background there on the opposite side, just holding it out. Oh dear, this is a fun one. We've got the other 3 squads alive. Outside, Lightning Unicorn and Legends. These guys are fully equipped. Player K with the Kraber. He's looking for Outside on the top of that building right now. And Lightning Unicorn, they're going to be able to stay inside for a little while. A couple of R9s and flatties on them, so they'll be able to pump out some damage when they get out. Also, a wingman on the side of Easy Flash, so that's looking pretty good as well. Pylon, interception pylon there, earning its keep. Getting some of those creeping barrage artillery away from them. And Easy Flash he's still looking. Like, they know he's down there, but they literally just can't do anything about it.
Yeah, man wants to kill, and he wants it badly. Cause for concern perhaps for Lightning Unicorn is when they're forced on the outside.
Oh,
it's not
Pricey.
Outside peering at them. Pricey, though, he's going to be in trouble.
He's got no flash meds. And he's just trying to surf across the rock right now.
Trying. Oh no, Pricey, can you do it? He doesn't even have any healing to work with, and there you go. Raki's also spotted. Into the lava he goes. Raki will burn, and we're left to our top 3.
Well, I'm just happy we got the 1v1 between them. That was so fun. All right, now the other three teams, the real contenders, are in. Outside, take to the skies, but I don't think it's going to work for them, and Legends Gaming have let the other teams run into the flames.
And Legends Gaming, they're ready to capitalize on it, and in a blink and you miss it moments, it's already their victory. They were watching the lavas, they were watching the houses, and they knew that they were just gonna be in for a spectacle for their victory. Another controlled approach by Legends Gaming to take a dub.
They just look so composed in the end game, don't they? Like, you know, you're seeing Outside taking a skyward dive. Doesn't really work out.
And that was Game 5 for APAC-South Pro League, A vs B. We've seen teams perform in ways we weren't expecting. We've seen teams that we had high hopes for, Dax, you know, competing in the ways that we were not expecting out of them. But it's been action-packed for sure. My heart is literally pounding from that game. You can just feel the passion, like, bleeding through the screen. Dax, how are you feeling coming out of Game 5?
There were a lot of epic moments towards 3. There were a lot of laughs towards the lava, but in the end, Legends Gaming keep it cool, calm, and collected. And it does get chaotic here in APAC South. You saw it at the very start with the double contest, but I really feel like we're seeing now with some of the teams more acclimated, some of the veterans getting some good calls in and are able to bully out other teams making waves for the very first time. I'll give you 2 examples. The first one has to be Divine, the way that they were able to survive with a single member after all that chaos towards 3. And the other also, when you saw Lightning Unicorn bully out, I believe, Team Outside from that other house. Those kind of calls done very quickly are what really separates some of the teams that are making their year 2, year 3 run here into year 4, basically. And that's gonna make or break some of these moments in these final circles.
Exactly right. And I'm going to call it the mountain goat play. We'll see that coming up shortly, you know, where Raki's just holding on for dear life right on the side, trying to solidify 4th place. You know, teams such as Lightning Unicorn, Boogie Borders, Legends Gaming, and Bearclaw, they're all doing some incredible plays to solidify those top spots. And here we have Lightning Unicorn still in top position, Dax. This is just insane from them. I was just not expecting it. You know, I have my heart set on Boogie Borders. There's, you know, 2nd place there with 58 points. Really racking up the kills, Dax.
Yeah, Legends Gaming trying to keep it a little bit average, though, in terms of the points, and they're catching up well. Also, Bearclaw Gaming doing really well to make it to the top 4, but I guess when we consider what just happened there, I can't take my head off what you said, Mountain Goat. And reminds
Goats.
me of that one post back online where you see the steepest incline. It's basically a 91-degree angle, and he can still stay there. And what we saw from Boogie Borders, it's incredible what these players can discover when they find their
you got to have a
opening.
name change on Twitter, Mountain Goat #1. Like, we're just going to see that happen. But you know what? Game 5 was just amazing. We've seen several amazing games from all the way from Storm Point to our 2 matches into World's Edge. And we are coming to the last game day. I'm getting a little bit sad and teary. I feel like we've kind of just blinked and it's almost all over for our first match.
I can't believe we're almost done. That's all I have to say. And it just really goes to show the games are going quicker, but they're also so very hot. APAC-S making such a big splash already from the first day.
Exactly right. So thank you, everyone. As we go into a break, we'll see you for match 6, our final match.
I plan on getting under your skin.
I'll break your heart, and then I'll break everything else.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here broadcasting the Rise to Fame APAC-South region, where we've produced teams such as Dark Zero and Moist Esports. You know, they've paved the way for our teams to become like the next region's top dogs. Dax, Lightning Unicorn have been performing exceptionally well throughout this whole entire day. So let's check out the scoreboard and see where everybody's sitting and see who could potentially be our victors, Dax.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a great point to make, Lace, because many expected this to be Legends Gaming on one side clashing versus Boogie Borders on the other. But Lightning Unicorn has thrown such a wrench into those expecting scoreboards, and you can still see them keeping that lead with that second place and with 4 KP to them. But on the other hand, Legends Gaming, it's a big win to boost themselves to that top 3. Easy Flash yet again doing incredible damage. And comparing to that first game on World's Edge, this time, Lace, he wasn't interrupted whatsoever. He was just hitting pop shot after pop shot with the scout, with the 30-30, and you can see why, with all that damage done, he's at the top of the damage leaderboard.
Exactly right. I know that we have a joke about never changing this picture on here because Easy Flash is always ahead with the damage, but as you can see, still the same. Also, Jack Cute as well from Lightning, still holding, you know, the great damage with them being in second place at the moment, and Fussy coming in as well with exceptional damage here. But, you know, we head into game 6 shortly. Dax, it's been excellent being able to cast with you today and watching these exceptional teams go head to head. You know what? We're heading to the end, but it's World's Edge. It's our favorite map. It's our map where we sort of, our bread and butter of Apex Legends. I don't know if we'll see many team change compositions. A lot of teams don't tend to, maybe in the last match. But even though, you know, some teams maybe on the lower end may do something different to sort of push themselves up to the top. What do you think, Dax? Do you think we're going to have some legend changes?
Not really by this point. Perhaps it's just going to be, again, that double contest. Who's going to get that win there? It really feels like things are a lot more stable. And instead, I'm looking towards teams to do better. I'd love to see a little bit more from AGL. I'd love to see a little bit more from DreamFire, especially, who has just been struggling all day. Because when we saw Legends as well as Boogie Borders meet the expectations put on them, and some of the other squads that we noticed who performed last year, they're not really up to stuff this time around.
Yeah, DreamFire is looking to sit in about 15th place. And yeah, from previous years, you know, we have seen them do a little bit better. We have been talking about them and sort of doing a comparison. So I'm unsure how they're feeling as a cohesion, as a squad. But yeah, it's really nice to see some teams that, you know, we haven't really seen at the top of the leaderboard take over. You know, we've got, I think the top 3 teams at the moment are fighting for that victory. We go into the 6th match. It could be anybody. Lightning Unicorn ahead have now been taken over by Legends Gaming. So we're going to find out shortly. Let's go into our final match. Dax, let's get the energy happening.
I can't believe we're almost done with our first day of ALGS APAC-South, but here we are, final outing between A versus B on World's Edge, joined yet again by Genome. And what do you think, man? Will there be any real changes here? Because I'm always watching for Harvester first look.
Damn straight. Immediately down the pipe, you can hear them, you know, see them hitting a couple of them. Straight down the bottom. As soon as they recognize they haven't necessarily got their first, you see the Valkyries, they pop off, they go to the bins on the side. You know, you have to be so quick and so reactive in these plays to win at a Harvester contest. It's a really interesting one.
And also Lad using that pounce to get to that high ground too and find a gun for his own. Keep going gaming, pushing forward. They see a target in a 2v1 scenario, but Bolin, he's doing incredible work. Keep going gaming, instead the one's in trouble here. Bible's the only one standing. Missiles are out. They're looking to just clear out any of these targets. Peacekeeper shot, reigns supreme, yes, but Bible needs a little bit more of that cover. Waiting now for someone to push at him. It's getting dangerous here for Keep Going Gaming. They've lost twice already. They'll lose a third time. And it's DNZ who sweeps them away of World's Edge.
Nice little clutch there by Joker. I mean,
How about no more dying today?
Yeah, unfortunately, KPG just honestly missing quite a few shots there. I mean, you see how dicey it is in terms of the contest when you've got multiple people going down, you know, straight for that honeypot loot, right? Because if you happen to grab a purple armor or something like that, it will shift that that contest very heavily in your favor by that point. A little bit more on point this time, having a look at it quicker. So Akuma has been landing in Dome after they lost that contest, as we can see right now. So Warmoth's the Firebird straight out of the PSQs, and not even that. I mean, they had to, you know, they were a very late addition to the Pro League. Let's just say that. So to be coming up and grabbing a POI like staging is pretty cool to start off with. That said, they don't get beacon this time. And they don't have a recon character to be using the UAV that is right there.
I mean, they're that team who do find those fights early on, and it's been pretty much the case in point for WMFB, but you see the legend picks, of course. Bangalore at the very top, but not as high as some would expect. 75% only. You got Conduit being such a good contender now with 35%. I love the fact that we're getting Cryptos, Bloodhounds, a Wraith, and that Revenant that has been eliminated. So it really goes to show there's a little bit of variance that some teams might look to commit on moving forward.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because sometimes teams, you're right, they do you know, try something out at the start of the season, and then when it comes down to it, they're like, sorry, we got to try. We're just going to have to go back to what we know works. It's too risky at this point. A nice opening there from Boogie Borders onto Ash.
Yeah, Ash Esports now in trouble. Boogie Borders finding them early on. And I do believe they knocked down one early already.
No.
Also, the duo finds a target that they can actually clash against, and Soyo's also spotted. Gets into this small little nook and cranny to hide in, just wedging himself by the tire. The truck is my friend. The truck is my friend, Soyo will say, and for now, he's blending in.
Yugi and Jesco, they'll take any points they can get. So, the controller duo there, happy to pick up that one, and they're actually sniffed out Soyo, and nope, he's going to make his way out. Of course, they can't expose themselves too much now. All the way down near Dome. We've got another fight going on. Kill Devil down to 1 against Akuma.
Akuma's adjustment towards the Dome paying off, and they get 3 KP along the way for it. Can easily leave now here on the southeast side. The free rotation towards Geyser. We're watching SWQ though facing off against Legend Esports. Oh, trouble there. SWQ. They have knocked down 2, and Legend is out early. This means they can't contend for the top spot today here, Genome.
Damn, they're going to be very unhappy about that. Obviously, this is a great spot. The gold res coming in handy there for the SWQ reset. But as you say, dropping down, they've probably solidified a good spot for themselves in that overall leaderboard throughout today. But yeah, they can't push any further now.
SWQ, can they fight even more so? Donut now, white armor, low HP, has to move on the way as KAKKOII is hunting them. God Hand also hearing all of this action. SWQ gonna have a chance at least to reset here. For now, Crazy Kong is trying to give the ultimate accelerants there to Donut, perhaps portal on out if need be. It's still KAKKOII trying to find their opening. Lahim throwing out some smokes as well. But while this happens, BCG and DNZ having their own kind of clash. It's chaos and World's Edge, just the way we like it here at APAC-S. Papa Joker already losing their shields. But Lin does get his armor back, sure, but DNZ is now caught in the crossfire. Papa slow, Joker's down, the black hole's there too. WMFB ready to pounce on this. Same can be said about Boogie Borders. It's all about chaos as DNZ is booted out. Fussy, can he survive with a sliver of HP? Yes, he does. The tunnel hits his safety. It's Boogie Borders keeping their position for now, but WMFB overrun them.
Wow, Raki, he's anchoring there, but unfortunately, he's just going to have to straight up pull away with Hannah going down and Fussy being completely removed there. Divine also had a look on the other side of that. They're playing from the south side of Monument there. It was actually 1 shot, 1 kill from Pricey, bringing the Sentinel out.
Crazy to think though that all these fights, all these clashes happening so early on as these teams start to rotate. But WMFB, they're a team that loves to hunt as soon as possible, and they smell blood in the water as Shark leads the start, and they go for Bearclaw Gaming. They see the smokes and the fences already as they try to go for a bit of a wraparound. Heck is immediately down. The 30-30 shot from the off angle is superior, and WMFB, it's their chance to move on in. Gravity lift allows Shark to push. The radiant transfer also keeping the pace going. The beauty of having the conduit is you don't have to stop for those shield cells. And WMFB, they're taking advantage of that fact.
With Rudney going down, like we've seen so many times before, it is all up to Belkin. He's got a bow check in his hand, so that might help him just stymie their push just a little bit. Taking that amount of damage does, give you some pause, but once again, Belkin, he's played... Man, at one point we had like a rat graphic here on Longshot. We may need to bring that one back for this weekend, because this has got to be some of the longest time that a team member has spent alone that I've seen in quite some time. Just like Pricey had to do last game. This time, though, his teammates are there with him. Not that it really seems like he needs them. He is putting out an incredible amount of damage in this fight.
Pricey's on fire, Divine is on fire, and they remove God Hand from this building. So another good outing here for Divine. We were criticizing them a little bit because of their longer rotations, but they're still making it work anyway. SW nearby. Respawn. The double respawn from Boogie Borders, though, a bit of recovery here for them to get back into the action.
Will Lightning Unicorn hear this, though? They're currently looting the vault in the tunnel. If they get out here soon, this could be an easy KP pickup, coming up against some guys that have got 0 attachments on their guns. Okay, Boogie Borders, they spot them out quickly. The drone is a giveaway.
Thinking about how they're going to actually play this out. He's the one into the front line watching, though. KAKKOII still here by Monuments, facing off against outside on the other building. So it's a little bit of those garrisons catching each other off guard. SWQ given their own reprieve for the time being. So overall, these teams on Monument, they're ready to move at the moment's notice, yes, but they're happy staying their buildings and see where the circle leads them.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some fights further around the map, though. Here we've got Akuma down against Overlooked Entertainment, and as the ring closes in, they pop double evac towers here just to try and confuse the other team a little bit. They've still got one in the bank as they fly over the top of Akuma. And interestingly, they're actually going to chase and take the same evac towers back.
Yeah, they're thinking about it here for Overlook the Gatekeep. All I have to say, though, for the past few games, Genome, I've been watching these games on the map zoomed in. This is one of the few times we have to zoom out because there's edge action everywhere here in APAC. Just a little bit of that flavor yet again. Lightning Unicorn, though, by default, so no Boogie Borders still keeping around on Landslide. So potential gatekeeping, that's what we're seeing right now. Overlook, they're still in that position. So Akuma actually decides to go away, move towards Harvester instead, and try to find another opening.
So LU going to be holding down this tunnel. There's not going to be a lot of it left in the next ring. But as it stands, they've got Boogie Borders ahead of them in Landslide. And then WMFireBird are holding the other tunnel that goes through the train track. So might have to be a show of force for LU to make their way out of this as the ring shrinks and goes, centers more on the mountains to the west of Monument.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised it actually boots out all these players from the building as BCG. Is this Bearclaw actually going for the res here? Yes, so we have some friends.
Tired.
Belkin has friends now.
He's just tired of being alone. He wants someone to talk to. So he's brought back just Rudney, unfortunately. Couldn't get Heck as well.
Yeah, WMFB. Honestly, this team has impressed me with their fight potential here, Genome. They're a very confident bunch. They're even splitting up right now, trying to see if anyone will come their way. Spotting Akuma. You still have one player, though, which is LK, keeping an eye out the Boogie Borders on the other side of the tunnel.
Okay, so we can see here, WMFireBird, as you said, fantastic position for them once again. Holding that tunnel in this zone is incredibly useful. It's hard for other people to get through there. If they can worry just a little bit about their back, you know, I don't know about holding 2. Having a look over here at Akuma, I feel like the backside of the tunnel is really the one that they need to focus on more, because you've got potentially 4 or 5 teams going through there. You want to put pressure on, so you're forcing those teams through the more northern choke, so they end up coming out up towards Monument. If they try and push through towards WMFireBird, that's going to be very ugly.
I dare say there's such a ballsy bunch there for WMFireBird, always looking for the next fight. But we're watching now Bearclaw Gaming meeting Boogie Borders, and Boogie Borders are looking to play for placements instead here, Genome. They know that they can actually outmaneuver Lightning Unicorn's initial rotation. They have the points to take this day. They're now backing away. At instead, as we watch KAKKOII right now, to the streets we go. Outside being hounded for the time being. Black Hole's there. Bangalore ult gonna be online as well. And it seems like Aplo's the first one down. KAKKOII taking advantage of the situation. Here comes the artillery raining down from above. And it's KAKKOII in charge of this clash so far.
Yeah, really, just KAKKOII wait for them to make the first move, and it's not the right one as they expose themselves to the angles of KAKKOII, now getting directly on top of them. Lahim's Digi-threat just cutting straight through the Thai team.
There's just no escape, basically, but Lahim now next on the list, as here comes Overlook Entertainment biding their time. Lightning Unicorn, on the other hand, has to do with Black Hole as well as these Arc Stars. They're being suppressed for the time being. They're in trouble courtesy of DreamFire, who's ready to pounce. But Belkun, the bow check is unreal, and from afar he gets one. There's the chance and the timing for DreamFire. They're looking for a win here at the last map. Outside's eliminated on the other side. Lightning Unicorn, all you got is golf gaps left, and he doesn't have anything left in the tank. They're gone as well. Boogie Borders happy to see that one fall.
Oh, all the way up to number 2 now with 61 points. Boogie Borders pushing further and further and looking better as the day goes on. Wow, the bow will finish off DreamFire.
I mean, the bow check's pretty good right now, but Belkun is a beast on it. Watching now on the opposite end, you have AGL versus NoCredit. Immediately, Black Holes do fly by. QQ trying to survive for the time being, so small reprieve here for AGL, but Jackie's gone, and he's usually the front line that AGL can follow. Mex is getting on the board. NoCredit has been the bane of many teams so far through this day. But Mex is down. It's 2v2 for the time being. NoCredit taking this chance to reset, perhaps. Bearclaw looking for that last moment. Belkun still hunting with the bow check nearby.
He's solo again, by the way, and he's chasing after these teams. He's not even scared. I don't know. I guess he's just so used to being alone now that, you know, he can deal with the pressure. He's no rat, that's for sure. He is the one hunting, really bringing out the bloodhound in him. He actually finds another rat there, that's Savior, who is currently the only one up and running on his team. And as soon as he goes down, Mexus will be eliminated as well. Unfortunately, we do see BCG going down as Boogie Borders take further position. WMFireBird, by the way, still have the entire south to themselves. So no one attempted to come through that train tunnel. They all went up to that north place where we've just seen Boogie Borders clear out.
I mean, they felt like it was a lot more safe, but DreamFire, as well as NoCredit, did answer back. Boogie Borders instead, though, cutting through the middle. And they have a good spot now near the northwest of the ring to keep a good perch going. We saw 30-30 repeater shot go through. AGL, though, hunting as well. Serenity, the duo. Can they stand against this trio now? The numbers even up for the time being. AGL now in a 1v1, and QQ will fall. Serenity, a little bit of grace for them to at least fight for their lives, but Boogie Borders in command, pop shot after pot shot, courtesy of Fussy, and Serenity is sent packing.
The kills start piling up for Boogie Borders. Fussy with 5 on his back right now. He's no stranger to being the kill leader in a lobby, and even more damage just piling out of this fully stacked 30-30. Oh my god, headshot after headshot comes out for the man. He will not stop.
No fast as he's making a mess on the floor. Kissen's already down to the ground, keeping up the pressure, and Boogie Borders knows this is their day. They've already taken the leaderboards. They're already in the top spot, and KAKKOII, really the only team that can contend them, is left to one standing. Divine's gone as well. We have 6 remaining, but Boogie Borders is on a rampage, and they're keeping up the pressure as Fussy hits another one.
And there we go. I think they have secured #1 spot. As you can see, the only other team still alive is KAKKOII on 40. They're 28 points behind. There's no getting past this. A fantastic final game here where Fussy has just been indomitable, has put them on top.
Yeah, but WMFB always going to be a threat, and here he comes. Overlook Entertainment is gone for the time being. Out in the open though, and Akuma as well as SWQ looking to take advantage. Boogie Borders, they get the ring yet again to their hands, and you know, right now, they have won the day, yes, but can they win the map? That's the big question.
So WMFireBird coming up from the south, they had so much space to play with. They've just hit some absolutely sick thermite grenades here, and they are finally just pushing all of these other teams left alive into the open and awaiting arms of the Boogie Borders.
While Fussy is just hitting shots again from afar, it's just Mr. Consistency. Thy name is Fussy. They see the lift go online. Fussy wants to already wrap this one up as early as possible. And as WMFB is trying to push on forward. Raki with the Peacekeeper. It's just all Boogie Borders for the time being. This has been a brilliant match for them. And the Boogie Borders are wiping the slate as clean as possible. WMFireBird, what a show from them, yes. But look who's left. It's KAKKOII on the other side. Boogie Borders has been in control. They cracked the armor, they cracked the face, and Boogie Borders are your big winners of today.
Incredible stuff there from Boogie Borders. Once they got on top of that hill, it was just seemed like there was nothing the rest of the lobby could do. Bastion does rat out a second there, but oh my, I mean, you saw WMFireBird in those final dying moments actually managed to jump up a couple of spots in the series standings. So, wow, really making it count there in those final moments.
The passion was real in our final matches. APAC-South Pro League, we've had 6 games of pure talent go head-to-head, guys, and from regions such as Australia, Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, and more. Just taking a look at this scoreboard right here. We've got Boogie Borders just putting in the work. And KAKKOII coming up again. You know, we've seen a good game from them as well. Our high-placing teams really had everyone gunning for them, Genome. In the final match, I think Legends Gaming falling out at 17th and Lightning Unicorn getting knocked out, I think, before top 10. Take us through your thoughts on this final game.
I mean, you can see Boogie Borders just cleaning up there. WMFireBird, as we mentioned, also 10 kills, managing to help them jump up. It was a game of, you often see that in Game 6, right? Obviously, like, people just putting their pedal to the metal and going, well, you know, this is it. We can't play conservatively anymore. We really have to just do everything we can. And they played that initial position near the train tunnel so well. And then, yeah, honestly, Boogie Borders had it much harder. So the fact that they got that many kills and then still took out the win, honestly, one of the more impressive games we've seen out of a team in APAC South.
Yeah, and as we can see, you know, we've been calculating the points and seeing what teams are overtaking and what's happening here, but the replays are just showing the immense talent that our region has. And if we take a look, we're going to show you what we really are here for, and that's looking into the series points. We've been talking about bonus points and series points. You know, if teams place, get 3 wins in a row, they'll get some bonus points. If they're, you know, 50 points ahead in the leaderboard before, you know, the second place team, they'll get some bonus points. I don't think we're going to see anything like that coming up in our scoring. But look, guys, I'm not trying to gloat, right? But Boogie Borders were my team. Just saying.
I knew this was coming.
I felt
saying.
Just because you picked the right team doesn't mean it's gonna be all over.
I will take my payments after this, guys.
Okay, but you can see it, right? Boogie Borders 83 points. They got 2 wins as well, from what I remember. And I'm just honestly impressed by that last game. Not only was the Fuzzy show afoot, but the way they were able to reset, revive, play out the countdown, and still get prime location in the ring. This is a team many have been hyping. Perhaps the only concern could be their chemistry together, but you can see it is already looking to be a well-oiled machine for our top contender.
I mean, can we just stop for a second and remember that Boogie Borders rezzed 2 of their members that game. They respawned 2 people and then came out and won with, what was it, like 13 kills or something. That is up there with one of the best resets we've seen in APAC South history, honestly. And they're right on top, of course. Fussy actually finally pushing out Easy Flash. And, I mean, it's not really any surprise when you saw the kill point numbers there. I mean, oh my god, Boogie Boarders were like 20 kills ahead of the rest of the lobby.
Yeah, I know we had kill leader, one of them with 8 kills on their own. So, like, you know, it's just pays to show with a little bit of patience, even a map change, some comp changes and anything like that. You can take the leaderboard. Let's take a look at the major leaderboard here and see where our contenders sit.
All right.
So, there you go. 25 points for Boogie Boarders. Lightning Unicorn, though, still taking second away from Legends Gaming after that early map 6 exit. So, Legends Gaming, it's a familiar spot for them, guys. Top 3 back in the finals for the championship. Top 3 yet again as they look to make their own kind of case. And for all the other teams, of course, Group C hasn't played yet. Those teams will be playing double duty. A little bit heartbreaking for the likes of Kill Devil, Ash Esports, Serenity especially, who did play a duo. And of course, DreamFire is one notable team down in the leaderboard. So there has to be recovery for DreamFire if they want to make it to LAN again.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, Gino, take us away and see, you know, if any of the teams, you know, coming up in the next, so Group C, if anything can go toe-to-toe with the teams we've just seen.
Oh, I'm sure we'll see some of them, right? I mean, you know, IBG there, T4 even have been known to take out some wins. As you were mentioning, Wonton Dumpling often look very scary. You know, probably need some work on their macro if they really want to push all the way to the top. But I was just having a look at our previous, you know, split scoreboards from last year and thinking, okay, well, you know, what's the likely cutoff going to be now that we've got 8 spots available instead of 5? And it does change it a little bit as we remember, you know, who was really standing on top today. Obviously, Boogie Boarders with the 2 wins, so they don't, you know, 1 win shy of the bonus point there, but obviously they do still walk away with the 25, which just puts them so far closer to making it to LAN now. 9th spot last time, sorry, 8th spot last time was at 90 points. So if you've got 7 days essentially, right, you've got your 6 split days, and then you've got the regional finals to gather up those points. Just, you know, open my calculator for half a second here. 90 divided by 7 is about 13. It's about, 13 points would be enough to get you in there if we're going by last year's standing. So that means even someone like Divine sitting down there, I think they got 12 or 13 points, actually kind of on the cusp, even though it did feel like it was a slower day for Pricey Way and Shady.
Yeah, exactly right. So, you know, we love maths and we love numbers here, and we have a prize pool that was doubled from last year as well. Genome, you're touching on, you know, what we were seeing in, you know, year 3, and to have 125,000 for our region is exceptional. So it's just exciting to see that these teams could be competing for higher money and putting our, you know, region on the map. We have 30 teams competing. This is split 1. We've just watched A versus B. Next week, I believe we'll be seeing other groups versus each other and see who takes out the top. And I've been Lace, your host, and I was joined by the most glorious of casters, Genome and Dax. It's been an absolute privilege being able to be side by side by the greats, and I'm very excited to go into next week. Any last words, Genome and Dax?
Look, it's been a fun start of the week. You know, we saw some crazy games. We also saw some very conservative games where, you know, we had, you know, 17 plus teams in like Zone 3 and Zone 4. So it's very interesting that we're getting such a wide range in tempos here in APAC South. Usually it's, in the past, it's kind of been one way or the other. So maybe the zones are going to dictate a little more how this plays out.
All I have to say is APAC-S, they're evolving, and we're seeing even more from these teams moving forward. I am honestly so excited to catch more of ALGS. I've been waiting for this for the past few months, and I'm happy to be here with the rest of you guys. Always a pleasure. It's been such a good run, and I can't wait for the next coming weeks.
That's it. I'm keen to see some teams evolve next week. So thank you everyone for joining in and watching APAC-South Pro League. And we will see you guys next week.
Your undisputed champions of APAC-South in the ALGS.
Such a good spot here. Provides any much coverage for Popcorn. Bradley kicks down and out already. Crystal strikes in.
About to go down. 1v1. 1v1.
Oh, what? Oh, Shady. He finds the target.
Hey, that's going to be a punishing blow.
Tree is covered. Fly high to Senpai. The wraparound is perfect.
What? No! Look to overextend. So does Kashira.
Does get spotted out. The pings go down.
Oh my God!